finding those levels too. Look at that 4-punch combination.
It's a masterclass right now from Shakur Stevenson. That's what you're seeing. A masterclass. And Shakur meeting them with a straight left hand.
Oh, and there's a knockdown scored with the left hand.
Right now, we're going to give him his just due. Shout out to my brother, Just Due.
Yo, you know the deal. We back again. We never slacking. Word 'em up. Ladies and guys, whether if you drunk or you high, it's time to pay respects to the illest man alive. If you think you got a point, he'll shrink you down to size. And from there it's downhill like a slinky or a slide. Open your eyes, got a deep connection with the rise, so you might see them jump in whenever they go live. Peep it, this channel blowing up now, it's not a secret. With tons of exclusive interviews to listen to. Them other channels I hate, but yo, they missing clues. They start narratives, sip the goose and twist the truth. It don't take a rocket scientist to get the proof. Just click the live at 4 p.m. Eastern time. But when you chime in, make sure you keep it kind. But if cowards want to debate, then it's feasting time. My man Jusdu shine busy all the time. Grind 24/7, 365. Videos he might have 365. My rhyme sick, they make you do a 365. You get a rich if you think you fit to survive. It's Jusdueboxing, time to click the live. Ain't no beginners, if you soft, you ain't down to ride. I crush you, respect too, it's Jusdu. He got the illest boxing show on the internet. The boy been a threat and he ain't even had dinner yet. Word 'em up. Yeah. You know what time it is. $4 p.m. Eastern. Click the link.
The truth gonna tell on your ass what you doing or what you're not doing every single time. You can lie, you can bullshit and all that, but when that bell rings, if you ain't put that work in, it's gonna show, bro. It's gonna show. Not to mention y'all in a sport that can cost you your life. Literally, you can die in this shit. So if that's the case, man, if you gonna do this, don't bullshit with it. If you don't really want it, say to yourself, keep it real with yourself. I really don't want this shit. I can't put the work in that it requires. Walk away. Ain't nobody mad at you. Go out there, you young enough, you go get educated, get a skill, do something, man. But don't play with this, man. People you can get killed in this shit, man.
What's good? Salute to the family. How y'all feeling? We back. Build on this boxing on this good Tuesday. You know, man, we got some fights that could be making boxing great again, man. You know, got a little update, not an official announcement, but got a little update for my people that love good boxing and like to hear good news. Shout out to my dog Behind the Hands TV right off the bat. That's my guy. We gonna talk about it, y'all. We back again, man. We got to talk about it, man. This is one of the hottest fights, I think, in boxing. And I think it is on the way. I think it's a matter of time before we get the official announcement. And as far as, you know, Boots and Virgil, man, the wall's closing in on Virgil, man. And I don't even want to say him so much, but his team as a whole, man, Golden Boy, they're going to have to put up a shut up. All that Errol Spence dream fight shit just going to have to keep being the dream, y'all, because they ain't going, man. The zone is not going. Man, y'all hit the like button. I don't know what side y'all on, whether y'all vertical or horizontal. Double tap the screen or hit that like button, sub to the channel. We gonna keep building, y'all. Y'all know how we do, man. Man, y'all know we gonna get to it, man. We gonna talk about it. But like I said, man, that Errol Spence shit sounding like a hoop dream. Man, we don't need to see that no way, y'all. You feel me? We ain't trying to see that. We ain't trying to see you drag EJ up out of retirement. Know what I'm saying? Virgil done got a little excited. EJ done came to dap him up. Look at him, man. EJ came to dap you up in your fight. Wish you luck. You out here trying to drag him out of retirement for a fade, man. The nerve of Virgil, man. The nerve. The nerve of Virgil Ortiz trying to drag Big Fish out of retirement for a fade. Get the hell out of here, knowing Boots Ennis just got in the ring with you. We ain't letting this go. Let me say what's up to the fam. Moni, what's peace to the queen. How you feeling today? Appreciate you sliding through Blunt Sports. My dog, what's good with it, man? Some real shit from Barry. Yeah, I love that quote. That's why I always play it now before the, at the beginning of the lives, Dante's Boxing Talk. My dog was good with it. Cal Cool, bless his family. JP is in the building. So damn, I heard DAZN said they ain't splitting the bag with nobody. Ghetto Fab, what it do? Omar's in the building. What's good, fam? How y'all feel it? Shout out to the fan mode, man. Like I said, hit that like button for your boy. I don't care what side you're on, whether you vertical or horizontal. We doing both, just in case y'all wondering if I'm live twice. No, I am not. It just, you got your options for the people that like the horizontal. You could be here, you like the vertical, you can go there. But either way, you here with me, and I appreciate it. But we're going to talk about this, and we can't let them get away with this fight, man. We can't let them get away with this, man. But you know what's funny? It seemed like the business of boxing, and boxing is not letting them get away with this. They like, man, we're not paying for not about to pay for no Errol Spence and Virgil Ortiz off no 2.5, 3-year layoff, man. The nerve of Virgil, the nerve of Virgil and your team to try to drag Big Spence up out of the way. Hell nah. They ain't going, bro. Shout out to Dan Raphael, man. Reef, what it do, homie? Shout out to everybody in the building. We can get to it. It's funny, though, man, because now walls is closing in. Now, I told y'all, man, I'm doubling down, and I'm having fun with this because I told people, and it's happening right now. Y'all seeing it in real time actively. Man, I don't want to hit. Look, man, DAZN said, hell nah. Shout out to Dan Raphael. He said, look, somebody said, I'm going to be so disappointed if Ortiz fights Spence instead. And Dan Raphael said, hell nah, Chief. Not going to happen. Per source, DAZN, which has dibs on Ortiz fights, will not allow that fight to happen. Yes, music to my ears. Dare I say music to my ears. I don't know about y'all, or should I say a beautiful sight for my eyes, because I can't hear it, but I can see that tweet and I can feel it. Hey, man, they say they will not allow this fight to happen. Yes, boxing got to make a stand at some point. Hell nah. Ain't no way in hell we start talking about fantasy fights and shit and bucket list fights when you got the smoke with that phenom. I told y'all, man, I'm going to have fun. I'm dragging it a little bit, y'all, just a little bit. But I told y'all, I knew they was going to start this shit. I told you. That shit get different when they in your weight class and they sitting there with a fight out the way looking like they ready to punch through everybody. You get what I'm saying? That shit start hitting different, don't it? Shit hit different when you see that dude standing in front of you. You like, damn, it's a big dude, man. Shit looking different. Whole team tense as hell. Y'all sitting around with the tight lip. You get what I'm saying? Boots got in that ring. Whole team had tight lip. Everybody had the tight lip. Virgil tried to hold it together, but I know what I seen, man. I know what I seen. That shit, reality sunk in. I ain't saying nobody's scared, nervous, none of that. But reality set in. Man, you see that Boots was like, man, he started tapping on his wrist like, man, I got time today. He said, all that talking that y'all been doing, man. I don't want to hear no duck talk, no nothing. We got a video from Bozy, man. Bozy gave his thoughts on the whole duck situation. We're gonna play that. But yeah, man, I told y'all I'm having fun. Frequent, what it do, homie? How you feeling? I said it, man. And it's funny that You know, dudes try to find little exit routes. They try to find little, other paths to greatness. Nah, yeah. Hey, Virgil. Hey, man, let me talk to you to Team Ortiz. Let me holler at y'all. Robert Garcia's and them folks. Man, let me holler at y'all for a second. Greatness at 54 goes through boots, man. I hate to break it to y'all. Ain't no way around it. Hey, yeah, I ain't even finished. Yeah, I'm so much of a clown. I ain't even finished reading the tweet. Yeah, hold on. They will not allow the fight to happen. The DAZN is exerting intense pressure on Golden Boy to get the Ennis fight done. Just when you thought it was sweet. Hell nah. Y'all think y'all gonna get the people a face off and then B-turn and U-turn the Spence. Hell nah. Boots like, no, you don't. You know what I'm saying? Heads, we beat him up. Tails, we beat him up. You get me? Nah. I'm having fun with this, y'all, man, because y'all get it. I knew it, yo. I've been saying it. Remember? Hey, y'all noticing all that duck talk is dying down? And that now they like, man, but you turned it down twice when you was at, but you turned it down when you was at 47. We don't want to hear that shit, Sharif. And shout out to the homie Reef, not my homie Reef, but you know, menace to society. We ain't trying to hear that shit, Sharif. We don't try that. We don't want to hear about office at 47. We don't want to hear how you want to tune up fights. Hey, y'all, they running out of excuses, man. They're gonna have to fight that man. Look, they could very much well walk away with a win, maybe an emphatic win, knockout win. They could do something to boost that we don't see coming. Anything can happen, right? It's a fight, but it's mighty funny how the energy is switching and they scraping and scrambling. They pulling people off the bench after 3 years is crazy. Y'all ludicrous, man. Y'all should be ashamed of yourself. Nasty work. Get in there with that phenom and get that smoke. Get that good loving, y'all. Get in there. Get that good old loving, G. Know what I'm saying? Judah Vision, what it do, man? Cass ever said, folks fellas, niggas treating boots like, yo, like an ice ray. I'm telling you, I'll time myself out now. Nah, shout out to the homie Cal. You absolutely will not time yourself out speaking that truth. Zoom verse, my dog was good with it, man. Yeah, make sure y'all hitting the like. I don't care what side y'all on. Appreciate y'all sub to the channel if you new. They got a new feature if y'all wondering. We doing vertical and horizontal at the same time. Y'all know. Ain't nothing changed. We still cooking. You get me? Still fillet over this way. The burners is still gonna be on scorching hot. And we gonna have some fun laughing at watching the world have to bust a Yui on boots. You know what I'm saying? All that talk that is dying down. You get what I'm saying? He said the class act, you know it. Heads, we beat him up. Tails, we beat him up. Basically, what I'm saying is it's starting to look like no matter where you go, no matter where you look, it's boots. I'm having too much fun with this, yo. I gotta chill. Everywhere you go, everywhere you look, it's a boots. You gotta fight them. Ain't that man? The DAZN said, hell, we ain't trying. We ain't trying to hear no Errol Spence shit. Yeah, we like big fish too. He said, yeah, we like them the DAZN. Them peoples over there at the DAZN say, yeah, man, we like big fish too. But we like boots more. Okay. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, when it's all said and done, when these fights start getting put together and you starting to see the matchups unfold and guys finally get to put up or shut up, right? They get to finally prove their worth. They get the right dance partner, the right fight in front of them, right? The right kind of exposure. You know what I'm saying? The perfect step up. You get to see who gonna shine and who gonna be there with the smoke clear. And I'm just having fun laughing, y'all, because y'all know my stance, my fight, so to speak, is giving people they just do. And like I said, man, people forgot fast how Boots was the guy that got dudes wasn't beat down the door to fight, right? And then, you know, the narrative started. Fights that didn't get put together on Boots' end. It started to look like, oh man, Boots don't want to fight. He turned down Tio. He was trying to get Dev at a catchweight. You get what I'm saying? All this different stuff. He had this fight. He could have went straight up and fought Virgil. Now all of that shit is behind you, and it's like, now what's up? And that's why I said, man, I'm not showing no favoritism and none of that when I say this, bro. Boots had the right kind of energy when he got into that ring. It wasn't just about the moment for him. And that's what I said, man. That's all that shit. I'm telling you, I remember everything they said. He got in there and it was about the moment for real. Like, hey, man, what's up? Like, it wasn't just about selling it to us and letting the people get excited about the fight. And then, oh, hey, you know what? Think I need another tune-up. Let me fight Josh Kelly or somebody. Nah, that's not what's going on. Remember, Robert Garcia was very confident. Talking about, Boots ain't gonna want to fight us. Boots don't want to fight us next, man. No matter what they say, man, he's not gonna want to fight us. And then he get right up in there and press y'all line. And it's y'all, and I'm not knocking y'all, but it's y'all that's exploring other options. It's y'all that's talking about he ain't on your radar and all this different stuff, right? But at the same time, it's also y'all that's saying that's the biggest fight for you. So which one is it? You get what I'm saying? You can't escape the phenom, bro. You gotta get in there and fight. Get in there and fight. Get in there and fight. You get me? Ain't no holding back. You gotta do what you gotta do, bro. Get what I'm saying? You're at the same weight class. Remember, look, hey, y'all, tell me all this shit ain't lining up because they bogus. Tell me they ain't lining all of this shit up. Remember, the rhabdo was the problem at 47. That shit is no longer there. He said that's not even something to worry about no more. I was surprised when he said that. That's no longer nothing to worry about. Y'all being in different weight classes ain't no longer nothing to worry about. Hey, man, that 48 months that y'all needed when y'all was at 47, I'm pretty sure that time span, that y'all ain't got to worry about that no more. It's all systems go. That's all I'm saying. I ain't no matchmaker. I ain't no promoter. And I ain't no manager. None of that. But I ain't no damn fool. And I know when energy is switching. And that's all I'm saying. I'm keeping it straight down the middle. Bozy Ennis is not talking about fighting nobody else right now. He said Virgil, and that's what he wanted. He said Virgil or the winner. It was Virgil. He got in there. He pressed lines. And now y'all talking about dream fights. Now y'all talk about dream fights at DAZN. Like, nah, we not having it. We like big fish too. Yeah, we love Errol. We love Errol. We love the truth, but we know we love Boots more. But they said they they exerting intense pressure. I love that. I love that term. Exerting intense pressure is crazy. Walls closing in, y'all. Shout out to the homie Najee for cigar talk, my guy, man. Big cigar talk in the building. What's good, my guy? How you feeling? I'm just sitting here having a good old laugh, man, at the way things are unfolding. You know what I'm saying? And look, all this shit could change with a fight. This is the dope thing about boxing. I could say all of this stuff that I want to say, right? I could say how I think it's looking, how it's playing out, who energy is switching up. And then the fight get made and boom, Virgil win. Right now I gotta eat crow. But until that happened, I'm gonna talk shit. I'm gonna have fun with it and I'm gonna laugh because I knew this day was coming. And I knew it was coming sooner than later. I knew it. I said it. Watch. Soon as he get his feet planted, get his foot cemented a little bit, he go, look, I told y'all, remember, y'all heard me saying this, when he go make an N1 mixtape on somebody real quick, right? They're gonna downplay the fighter that he fought, right? But when it's time to talk about fighting him, they're gonna all talk about how much money they want. And they're gonna all have their stipulations on what they need to be right to get in the ring with him. Now, what are you seeing right now? Everybody, even Lubin, man, he can't talk no shit till he fights somebody, man. Lima, man. Lima ain't one of the top guys. Lima ain't Lima, right? Lima this, Lima that, right? But then at the same time, he like, man, I ain't fighting him, man, unless they got that bag or a belt. You see what I'm saying? Then he stepped to Virgil like, man, yeah. Errol Spence was always my dream fighter. We didn't ask you that, sir. We didn't ask you if you wanted to fight Errol Spence. Hey, man, you just stood in the ring with that guy that just came up from 147 a fight ago, right? What you want to do with him? We're not trying to hear about the Texas Showdown, none of that shit. That shit sound good. Do that shit on your own time. That's basically what DAZN is telling you, bro. By them not being willing to push that, They like, hey, nah, bro. Look, you done got in the ring with him. You better fight him. Telling you, shit getting spooky, man. Oh man, you gotta love boxing when it turn like that, man. They turn on the head like that. I'm telling you, bro. It's gonna be like.
Then he's not fighting fair.
That's how it's gonna be, bro. They gonna be like, see, he ain't fight fair with my guy at McQueen that. With my guy at McQueen that, man. DP Rocker, what it do, homie? How you feeling? This shit is funny. Art, man, what's good with it, fam? He said, I never said entertain Boots, Virgil, shit the same. This the same story. Yeah, man. It's fun, man. But look, I like it. I love the Boots and Virgil story because I don't think it's Virgil that don't want to fight and nothing like that. And I'm not saying that his team don't want to fight, but like what I can comfortably say is when you give us that face-to-face interaction, you get the fans going. They buzzing. They like, yeah. You get what I'm saying? How many thumbnails, how many times did you see that picture of Boots and Virgil standing in the face-off around the internet, right? Social media. That's telling you that people have spoken. And it's from the looks of this tweet, shout out to Dan Raphael, seemed like the Zone have spoken too. Zone like, nah, not so fast, buddy. Not so fast, man. Not so fast. That's why I said, you gotta everywhere you go, everywhere you look, it's Boots, man. You gotta do something, man. You gotta do something. Who else wants some of Debo? Or should that be for Dev? Is that the Dev clip? You know what I'm saying? Ernest, what's good, homie? How you feeling, my guy? Shout out to everybody in the building, man. This is just gonna be fun. Will, what it do, fam? He said Oscar because he finally took Virgil to Texas. Thought those numbers was gonna get him the A side and this shit to bed. Hey, Will, look, talk about it. That's another thing, because I got a little clip from Eddie Hearn responding to like the $10 million stipulation that the manager threw out there and how Oscar was claiming the A-side stuff. And like we know in boxing, you can't just claim the A-side. You have to be able to prove it with your numbers, right? Your sales history, your ticket sales, right? The way you move the crowd and put asses in seats should dictate you being the A side, not just because you feel like your fighter is better or you think he's more popular in your mind. But then when you really look at the numbers and say that the other guy sells more tickets or has been able to draw a much bigger crowd and more consistent, you get what I'm saying, audience. So kill that shit. That's what I'm saying, bro. Look, shout out to Virgil. He just in the midst, man. He the fighter, man. I believe that he understands that to be the absolute best, you got to fight guys that's talented like the likes of Bozy Ennis, right? You got to fight guys like that, and I don't think he got a problem with it. You get what I'm saying? I don't think he got a big problem with it, man. So it's just a matter of getting the team, coach, his dad, obviously the promoter. They all need to be on the same page because it's like double talk. They all saying different things, and you don't know what really is the reality, you know what I'm saying? But what we do know is that both of these kings, these dogs, Virgil and Boots, got early, KOs. Boots the first round, Virgil second. I mean, I think the writing is on the wall. Like I just mentioned earlier, there's no more rhabdo. There's no more weight difference. There's no more I'm at 47, you at 54. We can't do it. None of that. We don't got to worry about offers in the past. None of that. It's all systems go. Everything literally lines up for this fight to be made. Like they have absolutely zero reason not to fight. That's how crazy this is. Look how fast this shit came to fruition. You ask and you shall receive. And I want to see people keep the same energy if this fight don't come to fruition. I want to see who y'all gonna blame, who y'all gonna be mad at. Definitely can't say Boots, and I don't want to hear shit about nothing at 47. I'm telling you, I don't. Because when he got here, when it mattered, when he got the fight out the way, you get what I'm saying? Where all these people, y'all was complaining about tune-ups. Now y'all getting extra protective because he's trying to turn your favorite fighter into a tune-up. I told you he was trying to turn one of these top dudes into the next and one mixtape. Y'all ain't want to believe me. Now y'all about to see. Telling you. And one mixtape about to turn one of these dudes into a damn and one mixtape, bro. That shit about to get ugly. For no reason. All because y'all ain't want to believe that he was with that smoke, man. I'm telling you, version no, not refill. That Oscar be bugging, talking bumps backstage, taking bumps backstage. Yeah, Oscar's a funny dude, man. Yeah, nah, I like Oscar though. He's a funny dude. He be promoting, having fun. I don't dislike none of these dudes. I think it's funny, but no, the thing is, and it's like I don't think nobody's scared to make fights or put their fighters in there, but it's funny when like the opportunity that people say they wanted or what they would do if it was given to them now that it's in position to be given to you. It's like basically a layup. It's a matter of y'all working together and making a fight. And that, like I said, when you got somebody, a partner that you work with in DAZN, you know, they work with Golden Boy. When you got them applying pressure, or should I say exerting intense pressure, as they put it in his tweet, right? That means what? That means what? If we don't get this fight, man, y'all better keep that same energy, man, because y'all drag boots. And y'all know I don't push duck narratives. That ain't my thing. But hey, man, keep that same energy. Because you got Eddie and them with it. You know Bozy with it, because he already told y'all he believe in his son, right? Everybody on their side with it. DAZN is pressing Golden Boy, right? And now you got Oscar, Virgil Sr., right? And Robert Garcia speaking a piece. That's why I say, man, action you shall receive. Be careful what you ask for, man. You get me? Be careful what you ask for. DAZN already did the budget. Oscar and Eddie, you can't back out. DAZN is Oscar's balls. That's what I'm saying. Ill will, bro. They ain't gonna be able to get out of it. That's why I said, everywhere you go, everywhere you look, it's a boots. Ain't that how that song go? I think that's how the song go. You know, everywhere you go, everywhere you look. You know what I'm saying? It's boots. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be in your dreams. I'm telling you, man. But nah, all seriousness, man. All these guys, when they get to a certain position, they'll start exploring opportunities that make the most financial sense for them. I get that, and it's no harm, no foul. And I was saying this too, just to be fair with Virgil. He's fought tough competition back to back to back. I told y'all also I wouldn't be surprised if they were looking to take a lighter touch and it wasn't Bozy Ennis. Now, I hate to call Errol Spence a lighter touch, but the consensus is he was damaged goods since the Crawford fight, right? So now how is he supposed to look with almost 3 years off, right? You get what I'm saying? Now he coming into the mix. They looking for the low-hanging fruit. They looking for something that they think can make good financial sense, that they can also capitalize on a guy that is not once what he was, out with the old and with the new kind of situation with Errol. If he were to fight a guy like Virgil, right, in this situation, we see the play, but I love the fact that DAZN and them peoples, as I like to say, them peoples, they ain't beat. They like, nah, bro, we not doing that. We not about to shell out no crazy money for you to fight this dude, and we don't know what he is. Not on our dime. That's what it sounds like to me. I might be adding my own to it, but I'm comfortable saying that. They like, hey, man, not on our dime, bro. Hey, that Ennis kid that you just stood the ring with, yeah, get him. And that's why I say, where y'all gonna get the money that you're looking to get if it's about making that bag? If you ain't trying to get in there in that fire, you gonna have to fight that man. Hey, well, hey, where you go? You know what I'm saying? That is so. Shout out to the Queen Lisa, man. How you feeling, man? Yeah, man. Happy Veterans Day and peace to all veterans, man. We appreciate y'all service as well, man. Shout out to everybody. Al Booger was good with the family. Candyman Boots. I'm telling you, Nick Ballin was good. And the last fighter of Boots' name, and now they don't want. You get me? Side note, we get Bomac and Bozy in the main and co-main this Saturday. That's dope, man. Jordan, what it do, homie? How you feeling? I don't know what side y'all on, but hit that like button, double tap the screen, subscribe to the channel, support the grind. We gonna build. We vertical and horizontal today. We got 2 chats if y'all wonder. I'm not live twice, but that's for the people that like the vertical, don't mind it, and the people that want to be on the horizontal. Y'all got options, baby. We got options, but we still cooking in either kitchen. You feel me? The recipe is still the same. Cooking. Right, Spence won 20 million. Virgil going on. Yeah, you get me? That's $50 million, but just to the fighters. Well, come on, man. DAZN ain't doing that for a possible shot, partially blind 35-year-old fighter. Yeah, it's gonna be tough, bro. We just being real, and we love Errol. Tay, the real queen of MMA combat. How you feeling, queen? Good to see you. But you get what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? That's real. Many blessings to you, queen. Always good to see you in the building. Great work that you're doing over there as well, man. But yeah, man, I get the Texas clash thing. I get the whole Texas showdown vibe. I get the whole, hey, he's from Dallas and, you know, Cowboy Stadium. And yeah, I get all of that. But ain't none of that. Like, it don't have the luster. It don't have the steam on it that it needs to have because of, I think, the unknowns with Errol and then just the inactivity and how much time that he's been off. You get what I'm saying? You know, I appreciate you, Tay, as always, man. We, as I like to say, are on the job from one creator to the next. I see my fan, man. Hey, man, my fan club popped up. There you go. Just do got fans, man. There you go. How you feeling, man? You know what I'm saying? You my number one fan? You know what I'm saying? You probably go to sleep with my show on and everything. Weirdo. Then you gonna break this energy. You not. We chilling. And they gonna pack you right up anyway. You know what I mean? They gonna pack you right on up. Every day he come here. I gotta reorder my wrenches, man. I think he might have a wrench unblocking itself or something. Because we gonna have to pack him up permanently, man. But let's keep building, y'all. So, like I said, man, the time is now for this fight. Boot said everything the right way. I don't think he was trying to sell it to us. I think he was letting us know that everything y'all been saying about me, I've been hearing. And now I'm responding. And I'm responding in a real way. You get what I'm saying? I'm coming to beat ass. And it's just what it is. He said it. He was going to run through the division. You know what I'm saying? He was coming to the fight. He made it to the fight. He came. He got in the ring. He gave us the visual. And now we just want to see what is going to materialize out of this fight. I want to see it. I mean, these two dudes, man, they've been on the same path for a while. You get what I'm saying? It's a whole weight class ago. And with the way that fights have been like over marinating, anything can happen if you deviate from what's really in front of you and what makes the most sense. And then you go try to take another fight. Anything can happen. You could look less than stellar. You could look, you know what I'm saying, have a shaky performance, look at off night, anything, take a L, right? So all I'm saying is, man, just strike while the iron is hot. And I feel like the iron's scorching hot right now. The iron's scorching hot. Neither of these dudes need no warm-up fights. They don't need no tune-up. They don't need nothing in between each other right now. Space and opportunity. And one side is walking things back. And I ain't feeling it. I ain't feeling it, G. So I want Spence to live out his days on the ranch, raise a beautiful, happy family. Man, live out his days. He deserves it. Unless he take like a you know, like one of those like farewell type of, like how Danny Garcia just did ill will. I wouldn't be mad at that. I wouldn't be mad at that if he took like a Danny Garcia joint. You know what I'm saying? You see how Danny Garcia just went, you know what I'm saying? You see how Danny Garcia went, had that, like, you know, farewell fight, a fight that he could win. Because ain't nothing wrong with that, especially when you gave this much to the sport, especially if you don't plan on coming back, making a real serious run. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? We here right now. I'm going to make you pay for everything. Hey, man, this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. He said he named his teddy bear Justin too. So just Reef said your dad started it. I'm telling you, bro. Look, that's what time Boots is on. Boots like, man, hey, forget all that other shit. Hey, I don't want to hear nothing. We here now. We on the same page. We beat ass. We both got knockouts. Nobody left for us to fight. Other people in the division, the names, they got shit going on. Hey, man, the time is now. And that's all I'm trying to say. Z, what's good with it, homie? You get me? Now they want to don't try to walk it back. We're going to play what Eddie Hearn had to say too, man. We're going to play what Edward Hearn had to say. Eddie Hearn responded to the 10 million, you know, demand. I like to call it, or the stipulation, whichever one you want to call it, that Virgil manager suggested needing, right? And he also responded to like Oscar De La Hoya making those like A-side kind of, you know, demands, kind of saying that they're the A-side. Ain't nobody trying to head, Otis. Hold on, y'all.
Once you start hearing things like, you know, we in the A-side and we want 10 million and we want, what does Boots? It's like, what? Guys, you know, Ortiz has never been a world champion. He's a great fighter. Boots has been world champion. He's been a unified champion, but neither of them are world champions now. They're just the top 2 fighters in the division. So if you truly believe that you're the best, make the fight. It'll be really interesting to now see if they truly believe. The fight's there, the fight's done, the money's there, the pay-per-view's there. I mean, it's a massive fight, but you can find an excuse if you don't want to do it. So we'll see.
Obviously, we saw the fighters face off, and we know you want to fight. You want to fight. And you mentioned the $10 million mark by Rick Meridian, I believe his name is, the manager of Virgil Ortiz. Do you see it as an obstacle? I mean, is it a real obstacle?
If you come out with things, look, if the fight delivers and it does really well, the fight's going to make a load of money. They're going to make a load of money anyway. But when are you going to hear me come out about this fight, or Boots coming out saying, we want this, we're the A side? No, we just want the fight. We just need to prove that we're better than everybody else. But if Virgil wants the fight, I have no doubt. Does Father, does Robert Garcia, does Rick Meridian? Probably not. Does Oscar De La Hoya? Probably not.
Now look, everybody got a stance, man. I'm just being firm with mine. I'm with Eddie Hearn. I do think Virgil wants to fight. I think he with it. I don't think he makes the final call, I mean, obviously he signs, he make the final decision, but I don't think he's making the decisions totally by himself, right? And nobody forced him. You know, he was being honest when he spoke about what his dream fight was, and it wasn't Boots. You know what I'm saying? And I get it, the Texas Showdown, the comparisons with Errol, Spence, and them being Texas boys and all that good stuff. I understand that completely, but at the same token, when you got that phenom right in front of you, bro, you get me people like, hey, man, what about him? Like, we don't know what to expect with Errol and how long he's been out, but with him being active, now he in your division. Now it ain't no more acclamation shit talk. It's like straight to the smoke, right? And it's funny. Y'all was criticizing the man about taking tune-up fights, and it seemed like y'all trying to force him to have to do another tune-up fight and not be his tune-up. I'm telling you, I told y'all, it's a good chance he make one of your favorite fighters like a tune-up. I'm telling you, and one mixtape, that shit gonna be brutal. I'm telling you, shit gonna be bad, man. Because if he getting in his bag, that's gonna be bad for whoever on the other side of him. That dude do things to you that's very disrespectful in the boxing ring with boxing gloves on. And that shit get brutal. You know what I'm saying? Get brutal. He beat ass for real, for real. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to all the veterans, man. And happy Veterans Day to all y'all. We appreciate y'all services, man. Truly. You know what I mean? Yeah, he won't go away. He like a little mosquito in my head. You know what I mean? Virgil got dropped 4 times, but nobody imagine what Boots gonna do. Hey, Muggs, man. Muggs, I'm telling you, boy, what it do? Virgil gonna feel the wrath for Boots Ennis, I think, bro. But I like what Eddie is saying, bro. Allen was good, homie. When you put in obstacles in the way, when you talk about 10 million and stuff like that, it's like, come on, bro. And that's why I like him, because he a real one. He like, man, Virgil, I know, no doubt, I feel like he want to fight. But he said, you know, what about his father? Do his father? You know, what about Robert? Does Robert? What about Oscar? Does Oscar? And that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying is that are those guys on the same page? Because I feel like I know what the fighter is going to respond like a fighter. You give him an opportunity to say if he's going to fight somebody, that's what the hell he going to do. You get what I'm saying? Shout out to my homie Mike. How you feeling, bro? Peace to my guys, man. Y'all hit the like button, man. We double streaming today, and we gonna keep on building, y'all. But yes, sir. But yeah, man. Like I said, it's no better option for these guys, and I had to follow up. You know, I talked about this matchup being a potential thing or not happening yesterday, but today, just to see this tweet and to see that they in line with the boxing fans. Not often is the business of boxing, you know what I'm saying, not in line with what we feel like and what we want at home, right? You know, in this case, they are, right? They could have went the potential like greedy route, right? Possibly, and say, you know what, we'll try to squeeze the juice out of the lemon and push for Errol Spence and Virgil Ortiz fight. But I'm glad they didn't go that route, and I think it would have been in very bad taste. So, look, I think this is one of the rare instances where boxing need to deliver was being like, it's right there on the platter for you to make. It's right there. So it got to be simple. It's right there. I mean, the DAZN and Golden Boy working hand in hand. You just read up with Eddie Hearn. Come on, Oscar. Come on, man. You keep talking about how Virgil is this and that. You said Boots would be scared of Virgil when he seen him fight. This is the shit you talking about. Now y'all over here barking, trying to pull Errol Spence from a comfortable vacation. I'm gonna just call it a vacation. New York about to be OD for this old man. You know it. Pleasure watching Boots do his thing in the gym. He's going to make an example out of that man. I promise you. Now, I'm with you, Elway. I think so, too. And you already know, Jordan, New York going to be lit. We're going to get to that in a second, too, man. I just wanted to talk about how it seems like everything is moving in the direction it needs to go. And like I said, y'all very rarely do the business of boxing give us what we want or, you know, just align things so perfectly like this. Like, what I'm saying here, right? And before we get to, you know, the next topic, I'm going to play what Bozy had to say, too, about the duck claims. He did a little short 7-minute interview with the Ring. But I want the record to reflect, y'all, how when the fight was right there, available and ready to be delivered, right? You even hearing the networks being online, but, hey, man, fight Boots. I don't know, all that Errol Spence shit, that's dead. We ain't doing that. You get me? Now, if this fight doesn't happen, we clearly could look at one team or the other, whichever one it ends up being, and say, hey, man, they didn't want the fight right now. Now, the reason being could be up to your imagination. But I think if this fight, what I'm saying, does not materialize, we can clearly look at one side or the other and be like, hey, man, they didn't want to fight. And I don't think it's going to be Team Ennis, man. I don't think it's going to be Team Boots, bro. I think Team Boots want this fight. I think they getting in the ring proved that. They not suggesting nothing else. They not putting out no roadblocks. They not doing no public negotiations. They not throwing out $10 million price tags. So they not doing none of that shit. They're not doing anything that would hinder or kill the fight is what I'm saying. And then on the other side, you got fantasy fights, bucket list fights. They talking about people being on radars and proving yourself. And get what I'm saying? What the hell would you want to get in the ring with him for if he got to prove himself? Y'all know that's a real one because y'all, all y'all faces, y'all all had tight lip when Boots got in there. You know what I'm saying? And that's just real energy right there. Y'all know, y'all expect y'all guy to win, but y'all don't know. Y'all truly deep down, y'all know that fight can go either way, man. Or y'all know that can go really, really bad for your guy. You know that. Y'all know this. Y'all know this to be true. Y'all know this to be true. That shit can go really bad for your guy. That's why the Golden Corral is packed. EJ just need to lay low. Then just run red lights every day. Yeah, sit on down, EJ, and get comfortable, man. Figure it out. Come back when you good and ready, right? They just asked him about a comeback, and he said, yeah, I don't know. Sounded like he was saying yeah, but then turned around and said, hell no. So just never know with EJ. But look, man, at the end of the day, man, fights like this are being propped and primed on the platter. And let's see if boxing give us what we need, man. You know what I'm saying? But let's get to this, man. Let's get to what Bozy had to say about all this, man. About the ducking. You know, I like the OG Bozy, man. He'll never bite his tongue.
For the Ring magazine, always good to be joined with Bozy Ennis here in London. Enjoying being in the UK?
Oh, it's beautiful out here, man. It's a pleasure being here.
This is your first time?
First time, yes.
Yeah. Okay, obviously you've got Jack Catterall taking on Echo Isman and the chief sport of Conor Benn against Chris Eubank Jr.
Right.
First fight with Jack Catterall. But I guess what are you expecting on Saturday night from Jack?
From what I expect from him?
Yeah.
I expect Jack to put on a tremendous show. You know what I mean? He's been down there with me learning, you know what I mean, certain things, you know what I mean? He's picking up on it, though, but I don't think we had enough time to get into a whole lot of different things, you know what I mean? But the stuff that he...
I ain't gonna lie, did Bozy training Jack Catterall or something, ain't it? That's crazy. Something I never would have thought of, man.
Learning, I think he could prevail in this fight. Yeah.
When it comes to working with Jack, and when he's with a previous trainer for so long,
right?
How easy is it, or is it difficult to implement new styles?
No, it takes time to implement a new style. It takes time, you know, but you got to constantly work on the same stuff over and over.
Yeah.
So it, you know, to get to his system.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
And especially with someone like Jack, where he's become so close to world titles before.
Right.
How important, I guess, is it for you to give him that extra push when, you know, he's been so close before to touch that world title? Is it important, I guess, you give him that extra push or that extra percent that he needs?
And that's what I was here for, to give him the extra, extra push. You know what I mean? They had called me and asked me how would I like, work with Jack. I said, well, I worked with Jack before when he came down here and just, test, just had, it was just like a test when he came down before. I guess he just wanted to work with us at that time.
Yeah.
And I guess he liked what he saw. So they had gave me a call and asked me what I was mind working with Jack. I said, no, Jack is nice.
That is an interesting mix-up. Jack Catterall and Bozy Ennis, bro. 2 cents, what it do, homie? Philly Worldwide, the Bozy. Pull up for the notoriety.
Nice guy. I mean, plus he can punch. He's a good counter puncher. But there's certain things that I got to, put into him. You know what I mean?
Would you have to commend someone like Jack as well, where he's, he's got a happy family here in the UK to come over to Philadelphia? Right. That's, I guess, commendable on his part, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I mean,
Jack pulled up to Philly, man. He said, I'm coming to Philly to get that Bozy experience, man. I got to get in Bozy's dungeon, man, get that experience. OP, my guy, what's good with it? How you feeling? Blessings, bro.
He sacrificed a lot, man. He just had a newborn baby and everything. Yeah. You know what I mean? And he came down here and trained with us. Hard work, man. He put the work in. Like I said, hard work and dedication. Works every time. Yeah.
You have full belief that he could become a world champion at 147?
Well, I think he can. Yeah, I think he can. You know what I mean? With us together and putting in more time. We didn't have a lot of time for this fight, but it was enough time. You know what I mean? But I think we need much more time together.
Yeah. Bozy, I've got to ask you. The weekend just gone. Obviously, Virgil Ortiz stopped
feeling great, man. That's what I like to hear, man.
What did you make of Virgil's performance?
I think Virgil looked great. I think he looked great at that performance. You know what I mean? Virgil's a good fighter, man. We can't take that away from him.
What did you make of, I guess, the face-off with Boots after the fight?
What
the face-off, him going.
Oh, that was a beautiful face-off. I like the face-off.
Yeah.
But like Boots was telling me, man, they was running him out saying certain things about this and that. But like I told him, we've been wanting to fight Virgil at 147, and back then, that was like what 3-4 years ago. Back then, he was saying 3-4 years down the line, they was going to be able to fight us. You know what I mean?
And see. That 3-4 years over with. That's why I say the more you talk about the fight, the less of a reason you got not to make it. It's like all systems go, man. Boxing need to deliver, man. The teams and the fighters, they need to deliver on this one. I ain't even gonna hold you.
So, and that's what they were saying. Oh, yeah, your father. I never really talk about nobody talking ducking and all that stuff. But if you want to talk about somebody ducking, I'll tell them in a minute. You know what I mean? I said, that don't look like we ducking. You know what I mean? We were trying to fight all them guys at that time. And everybody knew about that time, but they must forget about it. We wanted Terrence, you know what I mean? We wanted Spence at that time. We wanted Thurman. And we wanted, who else had that belt? Whoever had that belt at that time. We wanted everybody. But at that time, nobody didn't want to fight. You know what I mean? Would you? Yeah, not saying they were scared or nothing like that, but they had something else on the agenda. Yeah, would you make?
Right, I think that's what it is too with Boots, because when you look at it, man, it's more business oriented than guys being flat out scared of him, right? So I know it might look like once upon a time, the boogeyman, the phenom, but it get to a point, I think, especially if you're a veteran fighter, where you try to avoid high risk, low reward situations. And I think that's just being smart business wise for your career. You know what I mean? Every now and then guys will say the hell with it and just go out there and make the fight, take the challenge. But I think more times than not, you're going to see guys be more strategic or calculated when they make moves like that. So if you got a young, promising talent like Teofimo Ennis coming up, looking as every bit as dangerous as what he is, and, he ain't quite got to the point where he brings the money as well as like what he'll bring inside the ring, right? Like it seemed like his star power or his name, right? His recognition is catching up to his skill set now, right? Whereas fighting him is not necessarily a high risk, low reward situation anymore, right? You can generally make some good money fighting him. I think that's where he's at in his career. So that's what I think guys run into, right? People don't like to break it down, but that's real. It's not about guys being scared. You heard what Bozy say. He's not saying he's scared. Guys got other shit on their agenda, right? And if you're a vet in the game, somebody that's been a part of, you know, multiple title fights, championship fights, and you still hovering at the top, you ain't thinking of reaching back, fighting no damn Bozy Ennis that could get in there and ruin every plan you got. You get me? Especially if you done took a loss or something. You feel me? Opulent business, right? They gonna do business. And I speak like that because I just try to understand better, right? Instead of getting up here, yo, he ducking. Nah, man, they doing business and they doing shit that makes sense and being smart about it. You know what I mean? That's how you have that shelf life, that longevity in the sport of boxing, making calculated, smart decisions, not just thinking about, let me run head first into the danger. When you young, it's like they do a lot of that. As you get a little older, more preserved, make smarter decisions. And I think business becomes a really big part of the moves that these guys tend to make. That's why they be at different points. Yeah, you see the younger guys. Yeah, they ready to jump in there head first with any and everybody, right? But then the vets, they like, man, is that necessarily a good move? Is jumping in there with this phenom right now and playing with him, is that a good, smart move? Or do I just try to figure it out? And that's really what it is. Shout out to Tom, son of God. What's good, man? Irony Boxing in the building, man. Son of God, my dog. I mean, Tom, what's good with it, family? How you feeling? Always, fam. Big drop. Dre is in the building. What's good? Seeing my boots remain humble and quiet all this time. Hey, Zoom, facts, bro. And then he get in the ring, right? He get in the ring, and you kind of see is like, look, man, time now. He's saying that he like, bro, let's get to this shit. That's all I'm saying. I love the energy. Is consistent. He even, you know, ramped it up just a tick, right? In terms of being vocal in the moment where he needed to, and then right back to business. That's what I love about Boots, man. And Virgil the same way. He a dog, you know what I mean? Just like you know, Eddie said he believes he'll want to fight. But I'm telling you, if you got your team pulling you in another direction, do not be surprised if they don't make this fight. And when it don't happen, we can't blame Boots.
When Virgil sort of plays the narrative that he was the only one that wanted the fight, or he's the only one that said yes to the fight. Like, Virgil plays like the narrative that he was the only one that really wanted the fight and said yes to it. Like, how do you guess respond when Virgil does say that?
Well, see, then it had miscommunication. Somebody
Damon, what's good, bro?
It never came towards us at that time. So I don't know about that. You know what I mean? But we don't turn nothing down but our collar. You know what I mean? You know,
we don't turn nothing down but our collar. And like I said before, it's just water under a bridge. Why keep going backwards when you can go forward, right? Right, y'all? Who in life wants to go backwards when you can go forward? You get me? Now, I know it's some time points in your life where you wish you could do over, but this ain't one of them, right? Why go backward when you can go forward and make the fights? Simple and plain, that's all. So like he said, he ain't turning down nothing but that collar. And look, now that they here and right there in the mix, I don't want to hear about old shit. Like, that shit it's not going to justify nothing. Because if you say, well, he said no before at 47, now that he's at 54 with me, I'm going to say no. That's going to look bad on Team Virgil, Team Ortiz, if you ask me, right? Right? All right, well, y'all argument going to be he said no when he was still at 47 trying to figure out what he was going to do. Now that he's up here at 54 with me, I'm going to say no because he said no. You get what I'm saying? It's just going to look bad. He said no. He chose not to and had a unification. I don't want to keep saying that, but that's what he did. And then he bounced up. Now he here. And it's like, it should be like, okay, now you here. Now you should be able to understand from his perspective why he chose to stick around because he unified. Then he came up. Now he like, what's good? It shouldn't be no, well, before you said no before. Nah, it's now. What's up? Nobody got no crazy unfair advantage. You still more comfortable at the weight class. You had more fights there. You get me. You more experienced at the weight class. You settled in just fine, right? That's all I'm saying. There ain't no excuse. There's no reason not to fight that man.
Do you think the fight happens next in your heart of hearts? Do you think it happens next?
Well, I hope it happens next, but I'm looking at things now where they want $10 million to fight and all this stuff, but now y'all see, you know what I mean? It's not us, you know what I mean?
Yeah. What did you make of Rick Merrigan, Virgil Ortiz manager, coming out and saying he wanted $10 million for the fight?
I mean, listen, man, I understand the manager's point of view because that's what he's supposed to do. Get the most money he can before his fight. So right. I don't think that's wrong. You know what I mean?
You see that?
But,
you see that? And I just want to, so we having a healthy, real conversation. It's just not about trying to make Golden Boy look bad or Virgil. You heard what he said. They not wrong for making sure they gotta get money. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Like, that's their job too. So you just got to consider all things when you thinking about these fights and the next moves. And realistically, when I hear them say names like Errol Spence, it's very reminiscent of the Fundora situation with Errol Spence, right? It's a money play. It's a guy that can essentially bring you more money, and it's a really good name on your resume if you can get him in the ring, right? But at what cost? And we just seen DAZN is not willing to even push that. And they like, bro, as a matter of fact, and it's dope. Not only are they not willing to push that and they don't want to pursue that as a fight, they want to go ahead and say, hey, man, fight Boots. And that you just got to love it. Sammy, what it do, homie? I was like, no, don't fight Boots. It is close to fight a Fundora. I'm telling you, a Fundora fight. Hell no, go on ahead. Phenom done got there, man. But like I said, it's real that Bozy is not smart. They ducking. They scared. They this. It's not that. But he like, bro, we ain't the ones ducking. I don't want to keep hearing about what y'all turned down when we was not at the weight class. We here now. What's up? You get me? And he also highlighted how they're making, getting money for their guys. The smart move.
I understand the manager's point of view because that's what he's supposed to do. Get the most money he can for his fighter. So I don't think that's wrong. You know what I mean? But, if y'all want to fight, let's fight.
Right. So it ain't wrong for trying to get your man that bread. It's not. It's not. You probably throw something out there, see what sticks, see what come back, right? I understand that too, but you don't want to come off as a guy that's putting stipulations and roadblocks in the way of your fighter in order to make a fight. Demanding $10 million for a non-title fight is wild. You get what I'm saying? And just to do it like that, especially if you're not the proven A side. And that's the crazy part. And I got a little clip. Shout out to the boxing voice. I'm going to play in a second. He not the A side. That's a whole problem in and of itself. And I hate to even talk that, but it's real because that's how they talking. You out here making bogus ass demands. And then this is my thing. If y'all the A side, then won't y'all make the offer? Don't A sides make the offers? You get what I'm saying? So something ain't right. Something ain't making sense, y'all. Something ain't making sense. The A side is demanding $10 million when you should be sending the offer, right, Mr. A side? So gotta make it make sense. And that's why I say it ain't gonna be Virgil. I also said this ahead of time. I hope some of y'all was listening when I actually said this stuff. You get me? When it came time, push come to shove, it wasn't gonna be Virgil himself that we was gonna look at as a guy not wanting to fight. It was going to be his team. I told you, Oscar was one of the names I threw out there. And now you're hearing different comments from Virgil, Virgil Sr. and Robert. I'm like, yo, now they sounding like, yeah, well, we could, yeah, he here, but he could do something else. He can go prove himself. You know what I'm saying? We tried to fight him when he was still at 47 and we was up here at 54. But now that he has a fight in at 54, he got a tune-up. We don't want to fight him now that we're in the same weight class. That's how I'm interpreting, and I don't like it. You get me, Lisa? I don't like it. So it's going to be a weird situation if they don't deliver. That's all, man. I had to talk about this again because the fight, this is a prime example of how we don't get fights. Guys, they'll dupe us and sell us into, man, Virgil's this scary guy and Boots is going to be so scared of him. And then truth be told, it looked like y'all that's having second thoughts, possibly getting cold feet. And not Virgil when I say y'all, but possibly people on his team. I'm gonna say that.
After the fight, Virgil was asked what his dream fight would be, and he said Errol Spence. So I know. What did you make of that? Like,
Well, see, listen, man, I ain't even getting into all that. You want to fight, you gonna fight. All that other stuff, fight Spence and all that. That's on them. You know what I mean? They got to worry about that. We ain't worried about that. We worry about fighting him. That's all.
Look, ain't even dissing. He like, all right, well, look, that's what y'all want to do. That's on y'all. But look, do you want to fight us? And that's why people be killing me when they be going in on Bozy. I know it's stuff that he probably say in the past you don't agree with, but for the most part, he's not sitting up here trying to cast stones or kick dirt. He's just talking like a real coach. He believe in his son, his fighter, Bozy Ennis, and he like, bro, I told y'all when we got here, we was going to be on that. We was going to be with fighting any and everybody. And as it stands right now, since getting Lima out the way, you can't say he ain't about to smoke because this is the fight that he's trying to make.
Is there a preferred option outside of it being Virgil? Is there like any preferred option outside of it?
Well, whoever we got the belts, we can go to Fundora.
Who else? Who else got the belt? I mean, obviously, I know Charlo hasn't got a belt. Well, we can go with Charlo too. Another good fighter. All these guys are pretty good fighters, man. Yeah. So I don't knock none of them. I don't like talking about fighters.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I like Bozy, man. Class act. William B. Time said Bud Crawford next fight. Bud Crawford next fight. I heard something about a possible fight with him and Carlos Adames.
We two are talking in the ring. Yeah. Just a couple more things I want to ask you about. Yeah, sorry. So Stephen Fulton obviously takes on Shakur Foster.
So that's the gist of what we needed to hear Bozy speak on. So he spoke about the 10 million stipulation, the duck talk, and all that, and he did it tastefully. He ain't shit on nobody. He just like, look, man, we ain't ducking nothing. We ain't turning down nothing but our collar. We always been with it, and that shit don't change now. So I love the energy that they showing. That was a fun little interaction to see them, stand face to face. We need that. We needed that for boxing, man. And I think the best way to follow that up is strike while the iron is extremely hot, man. Everybody want to see that fight. I don't think it's nobody that don't want to see it, right? Besides maybe somebody on his team, and we could see why. But one more thing, let me play this quick clip. Shout out to Ness and the Boxing Voice.
Oscar started to talk about being the A side. If Virgil isn't the A side, then that fight won't happen. Now, we don't even know if it's going to happen, right? Just simply because they want to be some A side. And let's be honest, he's not the A side. And if they want the money that we all know they're going to want, they're going to have to go to Philadelphia to get it. I don't know that this is a Las Vegas fight, especially when, again, Virgil didn't sell the way that we thought he would. For the type of money Oscar's going to want, they're going to have to go to Philly where they can sell the tickets. So I don't know about being an A side. If Turkey Al-Sheikh is paying, then maybe. It just seems to me like we're not going to get this fight. Not anytime soon, especially talking A side talk without being able to be an official A side. You can't just ask to be an A side because you want to. You're supposed to be able to prove that you're the A side. Oscar
and shout out to Ness. I like that take. It was an honest take, man, in regards to the situation. And that's where you start seeing stipulations and roadblocks being thrown, thrown in the way. We the A side, $10 million. You get what I'm saying? You like, bro, where? And then you start checking numbers and sales history, and you see that one guy is able to draw more of a crowd consistently than the other guy, and it's proven, right? So then that shit falls by the wayside. So where do you go from there when you're proving that you're not in fact the A side? And look, I'm cool with it. I'm not. That's not even my fight. That's for them to negotiate and argue about. But we just using logic and common sense. But if y'all are in fact the A side, why don't y'all make an offer to fight the man instead of talking about fighting somebody that's been out the ring almost 3 years, coming off a knockout loss? You know what I'm saying? So, man, I think the time is now, man. The only thing you could do is make the fight that make the most sense. And that's boots. You get what I'm saying? That's boots. Now, it might not make the most sense for your pocket because, maybe there's that chance that you get your ass beat. But hey, man, y'all said y'all was the guy. Y'all said y'all would be ready. And here, and lastly, look, I'll play this too, man. Before we move on, shout out to Reef, man.
I've got you this. Virgil has so many options.
Mikey Garcia and Robert Garcia.
You can fight Earl Spence, who you fought. Dallas Cowboys Stadium, 90,000 fans, sold out.
That's a great matchup, right? We were talking about that this morning. My dad and Robert at breakfast. We went to breakfast right now, and we brought up the topic of options for Virgil, and we all agree that's probably the best option for many, many reasons. I think the fans would love it. In Dallas would be
the biggest fight in the history of Texas. The biggest, and they're both very popular. Earl walks.
Huge fight.
They not wrong, like Bozy was saying, for exploring that fight. That's what they're supposed to do for their guy. You put so many years into the sport, you get to it's rare that guys reach the pinnacle or the peak of the sport, right? The heights that they looking to reach. And Virgil, from their eyes, is pretty much at that point where they maybe not so much cash in, but maybe could look for an opportunity that they can really maximize his earning potential. And that's how I think you come up with a name like Errol Spence, with the fact that that's also a dream fight of Virgil's, right? So it's no harm, no foul. It's not the shit on him because he had thoughts of fighting Errol, but we all know that's not the ideal fight. The streets ain't buzzing about Virgil and Errol right now. You know what I mean? That was once upon a time, it was more of a conversation at 47, but I think now that's definitely died down. It's clear as day that the guy that people I think want to see you in the ring with the most is Boots. And it's crazy. I always say this and forget to do it. I got to do a poll. I would like to know what the people think. Who would they like to see Virgil fight next? You know what I'm saying? Would it be Boots or Spence or Fundor or somebody else, right? But we'll see.
Great matchup. That's probably the number one first.
The next one up, everyone's talking about Boots because they faced off. What do you think about the Boots fight with Virgil?
Well, look, Boots is that's as of now, if that's it looks, they're ready. I always said, he wants to join us because that's what I was told, and but he went in the ring. He said, yes, let's do it. So that's something that could also happen. Boots is young. He's also, he just made his first fight against before, so he's there already. It's not like he's going to go anywhere after that. As a fighter, Virgil and Boots both want it.
Of course, but also it's a business.
You hear what he's saying? And that's coming from a former fighter and Mikey Garcia, a guy that wasn't known to turn down smoke either. You know what I'm saying? As fighters, it seemed like they want to fight each other next. But see, when they start talking about that business, now you're starting to think about team and guys, how guys got to get paid and how guys got to eat, right? So now you start, instead of looking at what could be the most dangerous, you start looking at what's the most lucrative first. And maybe what's the most lucrative might be the most dangerous as well, but they're going to find out. You know what I'm saying? I think they're going to figure that out soon, but that's how it works. They in it to make money.
Yes. Him as a manager, the promoter, the network, all the business behind it, that can make, a fight or two. That can make one or two fights actually build that turn into a bigger fight. That can turn it, exactly. You can build that to a much bigger fight. Where right now it's big, it could be twice as big, or even bigger. They can. And in the meantime, they can fight, one or two fights, each. Like we mentioned, the Errol Spence fight for Virgil next, or another one of the same kind. And then build up to do the fight with Boots Ennis. I think that's probably the best.
Now, y'all see what I'm saying? This is why I play these clips. I don't, so y'all can hear it straight from these people's mouth. You can make your own assessment. I'm not saying the conversation that they having is the end all be all and they making all the decisions right there in this conversation, but you hear it. The tone is different. You hearing them talking about building up a damn fight, y'all. That should have been built up. It was already built up at 47. Them getting in the ring, standing in front of each other was built up enough for the people. They don't need to see them fight 2 more fights apiece. Now, look, which one is it, y'all? Are they really mad at Boots for hearing that he wanted tune-ups? Or are they trying to create a scenario where that's what he has to do because they not even trying to fight him? So which one is it? Do you criticize him for the tune-ups? Because look what y'all talking about. Y'all talking about building a fight up that was already built up. Boots literally fought child work at 47 in Stan Jonas. That fight had to get rescheduled like 2-3 different times. And then they had to finally scrap it. Are you serious? You got every reason to want to beat him up. He took the belt. You were supposed to get it 47. And now he had 54. And y'all talking about building shit up? Building it up is crazy. Building it up is crazy. I'm not going to lie. Building up a built-up fight is crazy. Like, anything can happen. Y'all at 54. Like, ain't shit like a given at 54 is what I'm saying. You end up fighting the right one, man. You mess around and lose, man. 54 is talented, bro. You can't be playing around. You talking about fighting 3 fights later. Yeah, let's fight 2 more fights apiece, and then in that next one, we fight each other. Hell nah. And I know they just talking, but said it before. When you ask Bozy, he don't sound like he got a whole plan of, how we can go around fight Virgil. It sound like, bro, what? I mean, shit, whoever else makes sense. But look, this was the guy, right? Virgil, right? All right. That's what they want. So I'm just saying, one side sounded like they creating, narratives to build, marinate the fight. They talking about marinating, y'all. GQ was good with it. Got Virgil clipping Boots. I got them both dropping each other, 50-50 fight. Yeah, it's a 50-50. I ain't mad at it. You know what I'm saying? I ain't mad at nobody that got Virgil, but I just wish his team was to not be singing this tune. But let me play the rest of this, and we're gonna keep it rolling.
The same time, and then build up to keep the fight for the Boots Ennis. I think that's probably the best business approach to it.
Rick, the manager, had an idea. You guys saw his idea?
And just to be fair, they are speaking from a business standpoint. So from a business standpoint, they thinking dollars over danger. And I can understand that, right? Spence would be that. Not saying Spence don't present no danger, but, Boots is just all wrong at this point, right? But that marination shit is dead for me. I don't need to see a fight like this marinate. I think we need to see it. You know what I'm saying? I don't think we need to, like Zoom said, I don't think we need to put guys in a mini-ass tournament and have them see who get eliminated first when they could just fight each other. Go ahead and get that AM1 mixtape played on, you know what I'm saying? You get me? Go ahead and get that mixtape played on you real quick, bro.
Virgil against Errol, main event. Co-main, Charlo against Boots.
That's perfect. I think because Boots just moved up and look at who he fought. Honestly, let's be real. The guy he fought, nobody ever even heard about that guy. So, yeah.
Lima. And you know why I know the last name? Because there was a big Victoria's Secret model that I knew that was married. I have to actually.
Well, that's that. Shout out to Ellie, but there you go with that. So they say, yeah, fast as hell. Now, why the hell would Boots be on y'all undercard fighting Charlo? Why would Charlo be on y'all undercard? Think about it. Virgil is not an A side over these guys. Why would they be on his undercard? Y'all just talking like random fans. Now, I get it. You said the business side, but that's not good business. Business for who? For Charlo to be on the undercard of Virgil Ortiz? And what kind of sense does that make? Boots could be him and Boots are contemporaries. They should be future opponents, like immediate opponents. And you talking about him, Boots, who's the guy that sold more, should be on the undercard of the guy that sold less than he did when they could just fight each other. See what I'm saying? I get it. They just talking. It's just a conversation. There ain't nothing that's etched in stone, but I just want the record to reflect. Now that Boots, the guy that they called the Duck, is now at 54 with one fight under his belt. The shit sound different, man. It just sound like, we got other stuff to do. That's all. I ain't saying nobody's scared of none of that, but that shit got him. That reality set in. That shit got him exploring different options. They're like, man, I mean, we ain't really got to fight Boots right now. I'm saying we could fight 2 more fights and then come back and fight him. I mean, we don't really got to fight him if we don't want to, right? Yeah, we don't got to fight no Boots. We don't got to fight no Boots right now, right? I mean, we could have 1 or 2 fights, you could go fight Errol Spence or a fight of that kind and, or he can go fight Charlo on the undercard and we fight Spence. Like, man, if y'all don't get the hell on, bro, y'all don't get the hell on. Those are man. Who footing the bill? Y'all must gonna go through Turkey. Y'all talking about putting super cards together. You got main event cards like within the same card. The only one doing that is Turkey, right? You know what I'm saying? So that's wishful thinking, man. So I don't know where this what there's to go from here. But like I said, it's good to know that Boots and Bozy standing on business. They want smoke. They want to fight. And that's how it should be. I think Virgil want to fight, but I think his team is considering, he might be at the point where his team is considering trying to maximize his dollar. And I'm not mad at that either. But don't try to tell the world that it's Boots that don't want to fight. You know what I mean? Crazy. Eddie Hearn had the Boots last fight, knew the Virgil fight wasn't next. Said every name they wanted next. Virgil, both teams know it wasn't happening next. I don't think it. I mean, all that stuff is speculation, right? Because I don't think you could say right? They don't know because nobody who their next opponent. Remember, man, the talks was at first was Boots was gonna fight a Bass Peru, and that's see how shit changed. So shit changed in boxing. The thing is, nothing is etched in stone. Don't nobody know anything because Virgil don't got his next move planned out, and that's the thing. So what I'm saying is if this fight don't happen next, it's because they didn't make it a priority. I'm not saying somebody's scared of ducking. They didn't make it a priority. It's because somebody didn't want it right now. You hearing his side talking about putting them in 2 more fights before putting them in with each other. That's 3 fights away. And then on top of that, they were heavily criticizing Boots for the talk of him wanting 2 tune-ups. Now that he got 1, and he right there ready to fight them. They like, nah, we could fight 2 more fights and then build it up. You get what I'm saying? Like, I'm not trying to be funny. I'm saying, I'm speaking on everything that's out there. They the only ones switching the energy up. It sounds crazy. They just was criticizing the guy for wanting tune-up fights. Now they like, yeah, you know what? Fight 2 more fights before you fight us, right? But you don't find it strange, bro? Why was they willing to fight him coming straight from 47 to 54, but not now after he got 1 fight at 54? Why is the energy like, yeah, nah, you could fight 2 more fights and then fight us? 54 is very talented, bro. If I don't, and I'm not saying either guy will lose, but you can't play around. You can't take nothing for granted at 54. You can't say, you know what, we're gonna take two more for sure wins. Say they go fight some name guys and lose. You get what I'm saying? Like, anything can happen. So they are surprising me that they're essentially putting these roadblocks in a way. That's how I see it. You know what I'm saying? For me. Shout out to Curtis Padmore. What's good, fam? He said they trying to finesse the people to get more money. You heard, Boots. Let's get this money. Could be, man. Money rules the sport. You know it. Shit, just took it when Turkey had to fight on the table. Someone turned it down. $10 million offer. I don't know about the $10 million offer part. I don't know if they got that far with the money. GQ. I don't know about. I don't know. For my information, I don't know if they got to the $10 million part. But again, think about something, bro. I don't know how you think. I don't know how you see it. What's more reasonable? Not accepting a fight with somebody that you're not in the same weight class, or putting roadblocks in the way of that same fight that you just claimed you wanted when the guy was at the lighter weight class, right? Now that he's here after a fight, you like, why you ain't take it before? You get what I'm trying to say? You were cool with fighting him his first fight coming from 47, but now after 1 fight at 54, it's like, nah, you could fight additional. You get what I'm trying? That to me is weird. And maybe they were trying to catch him slipping a bit. I don't know. You know how sports is. That's how sports is. Maybe they're trying to catch him slipping. But you know what I mean? Curtis could be right. Maybe they trying to milk it. But you know what? I think at this point, you're gonna find out. We're gonna find out who really want that fight. You know what I mean? Teams, fighters, and all. I think the fighters want it. And from what is being put out in the public from Boots' side, they sound like they want it. I'm not gonna say that Virgil's side sound like they don't want it, but it might not be number one, like priority, like we thought it was. You know what I'm saying? And that's all. And it's okay. I mean, go try to fight Spence, but who gonna pay for it, right? DAZN said nah. And then think about something, bro. The people that you're in bed with, are putting pressure on y'all to make the Boots in this fight, to get the fight done. Just think about let that sink in. It's not Boots' side. It's not Boots and Eddie Hearn's side that's being pressured to make the fight. It's Golden Boy. DAZN is exerting intense pressure on Golden Boy. Get what I'm saying? Think about that. I'm not saying somebody don't. I just want the record to reflect. Think about that. You know what I mean? If it was the other way around, I'd be saying it with Boots too. Why they got to put pressure on you for a fight that you said you wanted? That's all. And the time is now. Like, you could understand why a guy didn't want to go right, drop his belt and go right to 54 and fight you when he stuck around and unified. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't think that should be like a strike against Boots. Now, had he stayed at 47 and fought a regular fight and it wasn't a unification, by all means, I would have said, bro, that Virgil opportunity was right up there. Why would you stick around and just waste the fight? But he didn't do that. He made it count, and he made sure it was a unification. Then he took his ass up to 54. You get what I'm saying? Now it's like, all right, he here, and we're going to keep talking about the offer when he was at 147 pounds. You get what I'm saying? I could understand a guy not accepting a fight with anybody that he's not in the same weight class with if he hasn't fully committed to that next weight class. But once he's there after the 1 fight, like, we here now. It's nothing stopping this fight from happening. You get what I'm saying? And that's where I'm at with it. So we'll see, man. Shout out to Boots, shout out to Virgil. I just want to see a good fight. And I feel like the opportunity is right there, prime, ready for it, man. But let's keep rolling, man. Something that people been talking about a lot of, and they've been asking, like, is this really happening? Is this fight gonna really come to fruition? I believe it when I see it. When they get in the ring, I believe it. Why they ain't announced it yet? And I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. Maybe they waiting for the right time. Maybe they waiting for the conclusion of certain fights to end before they announce it. But from my dog, shout out to my guy. From what I understand, this fight between Teo and Shakur is signed and on the way. So I'm guessing it's a matter of time before they announce it. Like I said, there's some fights coming up, and you could maybe guess maybe that's why they holding off until the conclusion of certain fights or cards or whatever have you. And then, they'll direct the limelight and attention to them and what they got going on. But I did hear the targeted date was the end of January. I knew they threw out January 31st. What's his name did a short video talking about this. Let me play it. Y'all hit that like button, sub to the channel. We're going to keep building for a bit. I'll just keep.
It is a done deal. We are going to get Teofimo against Shakur in New York City last weekend in January. I think January 31st is the targeted date right now. I've said this before. I don't necessarily love that fight in the ring. I think it has the potential to be a stinker based on the styles of both guys. But Shakur is the top dog at 135 pounds. Teofimo is the top guy at 140 pounds. If you can get guys of that caliber in the ring together, that's a good idea. That's a good fight. I'm glad they finally got it done. I think Madison Square Garden is going to be the location for that fight, and I'm glad they got it done, and we're going to see those two guys in the ring.
So, look, man, that's what they talking about. It's being announced. You're hearing different people speak on it. It sounds like it's there. I think the only thing we missing is an announcement. Like I said, my guy was able to speak to them, and shout out to my dog behind Hands TV. But from what he know, this joint is signed. I think it's just a matter of time, obviously, before they announce it. Them going to this fight. They put this thing in New York if they want. I'm definitely going GQ. Got to. New York City. You're going to put a Shakur Stevenson and Teofimo fight in New York? Hell yes. Got to be there. Got to be there. That's going to be an epic moment for the youngin, man. For both of them, man. Great fight for both of these dudes in their careers. And these are the type of fights that allow you to prove yourself. You know what I'm saying? You everything you've ever talked about, you can prove. Teofimo is the kind of name that you will be able to, you can beat him. You can further cement and solidify yourself as one of the best fighters in the world. And the fact that you have the option to go back down to 35 and continue, making your mark there is special. So, like I want to save some of it for when they actually announce it, because I'm going to have fun. And I hope it is the right date. Hopefully it is January 31st, because, look, I'm all in. I need to see a fight like this. And again, when you rock with guys, I've seen this whole entire come up from the amateurs to this point. I want to see just how far he can push it, right? I want to see just how good he is. I want to see just how high Teo could raise his level for somebody like Shakur. I don't know about y'all. I talk a lot of shit about Teo, or I give him, for the way he behaves. But I'm telling you, it's something about him that he got in him when faced with a certain level of opposition. I think he's able to kind of like elevate with the opposition. Now, I'm not saying that he gonna win the fight, but I'm saying it's a 50-50 fight. Both guys got to be prepared. These are kind of fights where you cross every T and dot every I. No matter what you think of him, what you think he lack, you got to make sure you're on top of your game. You know what I'm saying? No matter what Teo think of Shakur, he got to be prepared to win. You get what I'm saying? Because he talk a lot of shit. You know what I'm saying? Shakur gave Teo a lot of credit for being a good fighter, man, believe it or not. Give him his credit, man. And Teo talk his shit. So I think all fighters talk shit, but at the end of the day, they know real recognize real. I think Teo know what Shakur is and vice versa, man. I mean, Shakur said it in this little clip here about Teo. Gave him his credit.
Teo is a bad motherfucker. Like, I respect Teofimo. I respect his skills. I respect that he fights everybody. Teo is not no fighter that ducks anybody. He wants to fight the best, and he'll get in the ring with anybody. So, much respect to Teo. Definitely mutual respect on mine.
Yeah, rock him to sleep. That was true once upon a time. It was like that, but he did hit a bit of a turn in his career where he started being, I think, a bit more strategic as to which fights he took. You know, he beat Loma, lost to Kambosos. He got a little, you know, shaky with the people that he decided to fight. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't willing to get in there with any and everybody that way, because if that were true, then he may have fought Subriel Matias. He possibly would have fought, you know, Devin Haney. Now, the good thing about boxing with this situation with Shakur, he gets to prove, like, because to me, that's a better fight than those other fights that you didn't take. That's going to say something. And maybe he think he got the ups on Shakur because he's been up at 140 and Shakur just moving up there. So maybe he feel like he got some advantages, or maybe he feel like he can just beat him. You know what I'm saying? But definitely got an opportunity to prove it when they announced this fight. Because like I said, I'm hearing from my guy straight from the source that, you know, it's signed.
Shakur is a very talented, skillful, technique fighter.
Yeah.
You know, can't take anything away from it. However, scared to get hit. Scared to get knocked out in front of the world. Scared to get touched up in front of the world.
Are you saying that off of the last fight or just
in general?
In general.
In general.
Yeah.
In general. Me and Shakur sparred before. We did 3 rounds, and it was just light work. And me trying to figure out his jab. Does he have a good jab? Yeah, he does. But once you pass the jab, it's game.
Yeah.
It's food. It's lunch food. Shakur is a very talented.
Tio was talking crazy. He said, once you get past the jab, it's food. It's lunch food. That shit sound good. Then you see the sparring, and it's just like tit for tat type of thing. But that's what kind of fight it could be early, too, especially with the athleticism of Tio and Shakur being a guy that is going to try to figure him out, use those early rounds to figure him out. And once he do, I think you'll see a different kind of fight start to take shape, right? I expect it to be a chess match, though. You know what I mean? Tio has shown the ability to be able to, you know, throw out a high output, right? But Shakur showed you in his last fight, he can deal with a guy that's throwing a lot of punches, right? So I just don't think Tio will be a high output, high volume guy against Shakur. I don't know. I would bull and matador Tio if I'm Shakur. I exploit his inconsistency on the front foot, and I box him. I check hook him to death. Sandor Martin, Jermaine Ortiz's ass to death. You get what I'm saying? Box him, frustrate him and his dad. You got to think, man. Respect. All fighters can get better and grow. You know, he lost to Kambosos. He got, you know, several wins since then. He ain't lost since then, right? That was an off night. I don't expect him to look like that against Shakur. But I just got this weird thing with me, man. Nobody that let a Kambosos beat him is beating Shakur than me. And that just, maybe that's just my ignorance as a boxing fan. But it's something about that fight where the kind of mistakes that you have been known to make in your lowest hour or your toughest moments, I think will show up against a master technician. You know what I'm saying? Or tactician, whichever one you want to call him, like Shakur, right? I think it's going to be chess match city, be a battle of wits, and see who can outthink the other guy. But Tio ain't going to go quiet, ain't going to go easy, man. That could be a really interesting fight, especially early, while both guys is jockeying for position and trying to figure each other out. But at some point, I expect IQ and separation in the fights, just like I do in any of his other fights, right? You seen it was a paid. It was very entertaining, particularly early. It got to about, 5th round or so. And then you started to see the comfortability of core, and then you seen the separation in the fight. You seen the difference. You was like, okay, at this point, you knew that if Zepeda don't make an adjustment and do something different, Shakur is just going to beat him exactly like, and you seen it, right? So Teofimo, like I said, he struggles with boxers, guys that exploit him being on that front foot and kind of bull and matador, make him go earn it, right? You seen it. He's a sucker for a check hook. You've seen that with the Sandor Martin fight, man. Who got a really good check hook? Core do. You know what I'm saying? But Tio is athletic as hell. The most athletic fighter Core gonna be in front of. He fast, quick twitch. You know what I'm saying? He got good punching power. He got some things in there that can create issues and challenges for Shakur too. Just being a faster, more athletic, more elusive, you know what I mean? More active body than what he's used to being in front of him, right? You know what I mean? He's not exactly a Williams Zepeda having to just come forward and throw a bunch of punches. So it's going to be a different look for sure. but it's just not something that I don't think he can figure out over a course of time, right? Over some rounds, right? And it could be a tit for tat type of fight, you know what I mean? But you know, Shakur is really good at winning rounds, and from 3 minutes to 3 minutes, you know what I mean? It ain't too many that's more consistent at it than him. So I think that's where he could beat Tio over time. Putting rounds in the bank, beating him. I don't expect a knockout. Tio's pretty tough. He could take a good shot. He's been on the deck a couple times before, but he can take a pretty good shot. You know what I'm saying? I don't expect Tio's punching power to beat his crazy factor. You know what I'm saying? I ain't saying it don't matter, but I ain't expecting it to be like some, he's just not the explosive fighter he was at 135. He's not that at 140 to me. And I feel like he gotta work harder. He gotta outbox. He's more of an outboxer at 40. You know what I'm saying? And I think that puts the fight and tips it in Shakur's favor. You talking about a 12-round fight, you talking about a chess match. Round to round, you see who's the better person, who fights the more mistake-free boxing. You get me? I think Shakur makes less mistakes. On top of that, I think he's the fourth most accurate fighter actively in boxing today. I mean, one of the absolute highest plus-minus ratios in all of the sport. So you got Tio dealing with that, but Shakur got deal with the fact that Tio is a guy that can be overlooked. You can't just count him out. You can't assume that he's not going to show up. You get me? You just never know what you're going to get. It's a mixed bag with that guy. You know what I'm saying? But ultimately, I think he does a lot of bluffing. I think that could hurt him. I think he has a tendency to over-rely on his athleticism. That could hurt him. And I think when the fights get the toughest, I don't trust his dad giving the greatest instruction to get him out of the hole. Go back to the Kambosos fight. You get what I'm saying? So I don't know. I feel like Core got the stronger corner, and I feel like he's the more put together mind, right? He's more consistent out of the two in terms of the boxers, the fighters, right? I think Shakur is more consistent from fight to fight. Even on his worst night, we all seen what that was. He still got to win, right? So it's like Tio's dealing with a guy that don't know how to lose, don't want to lose, right? And he hate it. So Corey ain't going easy, right? He gonna make this, I think, as tough as fight as possible mentally for Tio, right? Now, some people look at Shakur, he's figure brittle hands, not the biggest puncher, so he's not much of a physical threat. I think that's underrated to a degree, but I think where his bread and butter is at his mental game. I think his ability to outthink you is where he shines, right? And, force the mistakes, take advantage of your mistakes and limit the mistakes that he made. Now, if you Tio, you want to try to push the pace and force Shakur to fight at a pace he don't want to, force him to make a mistake sooner than he's ready to, things like that, take advantage of him being defensive minded, but that's not going to be easy. We all know that, but it's a fight. You're going to get hit. And if it's any, Tio could hit you. You know what I mean? I don't think it's going to be nobody that he's in front of that he can't hit, but we'll see if he's able to be consistent at hitting Corey, because we all know that, praying for one punch or hoping and praying for one punch is not the best way to go about it. You got to go to his body, in my opinion, and you got to outthink him. Keep the jab in his face, be creative. You know what I mean? No stationary target. You know what I mean? Be an active body in there that Tio knows how to be. But like I said, he do a lot of bluffing. And I feel like a smart fighter won't fall for a lot of those little tactics and things that he do with those lower tier fighters that, kind of take the bait. I don't see Shakur falling for his BS. You get what I'm saying? So I do think overall, man, it's going to be a good fight. Overall, good fight. I'm just waiting for them to announce it. I would like to know what their undercard going to look like as well. You know what I'm saying? I heard, again, I see people are pushing around the internet. I've seen it a couple of times on Twitter with the Keyshawn and the Richardson Hitchens thing. I don't know how solid that is. I haven't got any confirmation that that's something that they pushing. Definitely not on the undercard of Shakur and Tio. I don't know about that. So, I mean, nothing would surprise me at this point in boxing. We've seen a lot of different things, but we just got to see. Boxing with 2-4, what it do, homie? Okay, definitely you could beat Shakur, but Shakur make it look easy yet again. It's possible. Zayas, Baruta, MRC, January 31st, same day as Tio and Core. I'm not sure. So that January 31st date is, I'll say, it's tentative with Corey and them because they ain't announced nothing yet, right? But that's look like a targeted date, you know, end of January. So I'm not for sure, but like I said, I got word that fight is in fact signed, and it just ain't announced it yet. So I'm gonna just sit back and enjoy the ride, man, and see when they come out and announce it. But like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if they allow a card or certain particular card or whatever to, you know, come to its conclusion, and then boom, they pop up and, you know, start announcing and promoting this fight. Because what we had in November, October, November, yeah, man, November. Yeah, because you got to figure at some point you want to announce it at some point this month. If you're doing it in January, you would think, right? Some point. So I'm expecting to hear something, but we'll see. We'll see. But I think the good news is that it is signed, right? And as of right now, it don't seem like nobody is, you know, getting in the way of the fight. So that's it. Again, boxing is in a good space, man. They said boxing is dying, but I don't see it. You know what I mean? With fights like that being made, there's no way boxing could be dying. With Virgil Ortiz and Bozy Ennis being right at each other's doorstep, there's no way boxing could be dying. You get what I'm saying? With 154 seemingly getting more interesting by the fight, there's no way boxing could be dying. 160 about to get a new player too. They say you're going to have to cut the ring off, be core, even though he's athletic. Huge weakness for him. Yeah, cutting the ring off and being consistent at it without you know, making those mistakes, that's gonna cost him. You know what I mean, the corner instructions will be drama if they cut to the corner. Somebody talking back and they ain't listening. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like button. We got 60 people in the building. Hit that like button, sub to the channel, support the build. We're gonna cook for a bit more. Like I said, man, expect the announcement soon. I would think. Cut, what it do, homie? She was about to have his eyes Asian like Clagger gave him. I'm telling you, tint his windows. Cole got to tint the windows. Tint the windows on him, Cole. You know, tint his windows, G. You know what I mean? Knock out one of them extra teethuses he got. You know what I'm saying? Chip his ass. But take him to school. You know what I'm saying? Take him to school. Make him, frustrate him, embarrass him. That's what I want to see. I would love to see a Floyd Mayweather, and I'm not saying he Floyd, but like, in terms of like just shutting your guy to certain shit that he do well down and frustrating him and just beating him, just being better than him, improving it. I want to see that kind of performance. That's what kind of performance I want to see. You know what I'm saying? So that corner structure gonna be drama. I'm telling you, I want him to have Teo Sr. losing his damn mind in that corner. You know what I'm saying? Lose your mind in that corner. All that you be talking, I want to see you lose your mind in that damn corner. You know what I'm saying? Lose your mind from getting your ass kicked and handed to you. I mean, Chris Algieri has some high praise for Corey, man. And if he was to win this fight, I like the stuff he said. He spoke on both sides.
If Shakur wins, if he shuts out Teo 11-1, and you're like, whoa, okay.
Pound for pound?
Right. Now we're like, all right, we're talking Floyd Mayweather type guy. The kind of guy who's so damn good that he's going to become popular just because of that, just because he's going to beat everyone. He's going to beat all of your favorite fighters. If Teo wins, do we immediately check him into an insane asylum? Because you imagine how he's going to after that? He's going to be flying.
I'm all for either outcome. If Shakur wins, he becomes a star. Teofimo wins, he's going to go nuts. He's going to go crazy, and it's going to be great.
It's so fun when he does that. When he goes nuts, it's very fun. If Shakur wins,
that's crazy. They think they ready to see Teo go off. But look, if he wins, I think he obviously solidifies himself as a 4-division champion. You know, accolades continue to pile up and mount in his favor, and then he'll have options whether, you know what I mean, go back down and be great at 35, which is something that I could see him doing, or stick around. But you just never know with boxing, man. Think what's good with it, homie. People change their mind all the time, and you just never know which way they're gonna go with it. But I'll say I could see him going back down. I could see him wanting to do, because he said it, right? He said as much, but anything could change, right? You could say anything and then change your mind. So you just don't know. But first things first, I'm going to just sit tight, wait for an announcement, and see how the fight play out. You know what I'm saying? I respect Tio as a fighter. I know what he's capable of doing when he raises his level, right? But ultimately, I do think he make enough mistakes to lose a decision on points to court. Tony was good with it. So sticking my gun that Virgil Winners fighting his boots. I saw against Luba. Nothing wrong with that, bro. Nothing wrong with that, man. Virgil and company just gotta make it to the fight. That's all. They just gotta get on the same page and iron out a deal that works for both parties involved and fight. Good thing is DAZN is putting pressure on them to fight on Golden Boy to make the fight with Boots. So hopefully we can see it sooner than later, you know. But for me, I just think the athleticism, the speed, the creativity of Boots overall could be a deciding factor. I think that could be the reason that he wins this fight. I really do. You know what I'm saying? I think that could be the reason he wins. Shakur should fight Haney, Norman winner. Did he smoke Tio? You know that was something that they was discussing trying to do too. 5 divisions before 3rd. That should be crazy, man. Should be crazy. I never seen him at 47. I never really pitching him at 47 unless it was like a one-off type of thing. But I would love to see how he gonna look at 140, just jumping up and fighting Tio. You know what I'm saying? I think it's something he definitely can do. I'm interested in seeing it. I mean, they the perfect dance partner for each other. You know what I'm saying? Tio is the name that Shakur that's been invading Shakur's career. And Shakur would be another great name for Tio to add if he wins. Steph, what's good on me? I got Eubank smoking Connor again. Yeah. I got Eubank winning again. I do. I just think he's a bit better than Connor. As long as Eubank don't do nothing stupid, I feel like he's going to win. 50-50. Yeah. Yeah, power don't win fights, though. Not at that level, Tony, man. They don't really got to be known for power. Tio got a good pop. I think Shakur going to make you respect him regardless. You're not going to just run through him. I think it's just a battle. It's going to be a battle of the wits, a battle of the minds. The smarter fighter will win. You know what I mean? Tio is slightly more athletic, I would say, but I think what he, that's not enough, I don't think. You know what I'm saying? Because he can do some pretty athletic things in the ring, Tio can. Surprisingly. The 40 and 47 landscape. Yeah, it ain't sturdy, Dank. It ain't sturdy. You know what I'm saying? Speaking of power, Eubank ain't got none. Eubank and Connor gonna be a good fight. But look, credit to these guys. I'll save some of it for when they make their actual announcement. But like I said, I just wanted to share that with you. Shout out to the homie behind the hands TV. Was able to speak with them, and the fight is signed. So we're gonna see. But real quick, pit stop. Shout out to the homie Erickson and Hammer Lubin, man. He made his official Instagram post. You know what I'm saying? He went Saturday night. He was a prisoner of his own bad habits, but it's just a lesson. He got to learn from it. He said, turn shit around, not make it a life sentence. He said, live by the sword, die by the sword. I'll be back. I'll be better. He said, next time at middleweight. So look, middleweight, y'all about to have another player, man. He said, congrats to Team Ortiz too. Hammer time. So look, he say he's going up to middleweight, 160, 154. He's been there, most of his career. Right, and it probably wouldn't hurt for him to go up another weight class. I don't know if that's gonna make any difference. I don't know if he was drained. I don't know if he had any tough weight cuts, anything to that magnitude. I don't know, but I do know Virgil was the better man. He blitzed him. He fought with a lot of conviction, a lot of attitude, confidence, and he got the job done really early. Now Virgil is on to the next. The next is Bozy Ennis, if you ask me. That's the fight that the people want to see, but they might explore their options, and that's something that we just got to consider as fans. They might decide to try to, go a more lucrative route or something that they deem more lucrative but not as risky. So we'll see. I just don't know. You know what I'm saying? Should have sent middleweight. Should have went to middleweight years ago, possibly. Said, man, and one mixtape gonna step on Virgil. I think so too. Zoom. I think so, bro. I think that mixtape is inevitable, bro. Primary style doesn't work. What else you got? And Boots primary style doesn't work. What else you got? I got my answer, but the questions that ask, oh, yeah, man. I just think Virgil has gotten more creative, I think, with his offense. Roger was good, but I think he's got more creative with his offense for sure. He's a bit more he's a bit more versatile than what people give him credit for. Like offensively, he do some little things in there, right? That makes him dangerous, right? He ain't just some straightforward, straight up and down, mindless kind of guy. Nah, Virgil's a smart fighter. He's an improving fighter, and he worked too damn hard not to improve, right? Anybody that works that hard is gonna get better. That's what I believe anyway. But at the same token, I just think Boots is the all-around more natural athlete, and I think it's a bit more tools in that bag. You get what I'm saying? I feel like there's more he can do if need be. Right? Virgil's right there too, hand in hand. He can do his thing. I just feel like it's a lot more Boots can do. And consistently at a high level too. You get me? Consistently at a high level. I think the movement, athleticism, the creativity, you know what I mean? The different things that he can do, movement. Man, I think speed. And I think his ability to punch in combination with power and great, well-placed shots, really good timing. It's a lot. It's like pick your poison with Boots. But Virgil, straightforward, strong-ass fighter that'll knock your head loose if you let him. If he catch you, he gonna leave you in the dirt, bro. Virgil will leave you in the dirt. So you gotta take your pick, man. Take your pick, man. It's whatever you like. You get me? It's whatever you like. Yeah, Boots better protect himself. Like those pressure fighters, athletic footwork guys that he hates to fight. And that's what I wonder, Rozier, like, is this fight going to look like something that I think it could look like because of what we know that Boots enjoys, right? We know Boots enjoys certain things, right? So, like I said, those, you know what I'm saying? The come forward pressure fighters, Virgil is better than the average pressure fighter, but still, it's just something. I don't know if it's going to be something Boots never seen before. Maybe the combination of things he's able to do, maybe it'll be something Boots never seen before. Or maybe it'll be something he has to adjust to. But as far as like just all around surprising him and stuff, I don't think so. I think Boots gonna have the more of a game. You know what I'm saying? I think he's gonna have more shit he can do. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, man. Ashley's corner was good, cuz how are you feeling? I'm telling them pressure fighters be getting cooked. Told you Lube had no chance. Golden State was good. It's not everybody has a chance, bro. Everybody has a chance. And I don't really, you ain't tell me because I said Virgil was gonna win. I ain't say Lubin was gonna win. But let's keep building, man. Let's keep building. It's over 50 people in the building. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like button, man. Hit the like button for your boy. Weird. Elijah Gamboa. I got my boy Virgil. He a dog. Virgil is the dog. But I just wish his team wouldn't walk him away from the fights. You know what I'm saying? I hate that. I hate the fact that they talking like they want to go away from the fights. More fire. What it do? So you see how squirt Virgil has himself a lot of times. Yeah, I think that's going to be a real issue for him. Shout out to Elijah, man. Make sure y'all hit the like button, sub to the channel if you new. We're going to rock out for a bit more before we head out. Hit the like button. Support the build. Let's get to it. But, yeah, look. Lubin at middleweight could be good for him. I think it's kind of wide open. Nobody is taking 50, 60 by the horns in quite some time, man. Nobody's dominated the 160-pound division. Maybe there's room for him to fight there. You know what I'm saying? But shit, we're gonna see. I mean, with a weight class up or do for Lubin, man. But back to the drawing board, and apparently he going to 160. And other news, I had to bring this up because I seen this, man. Remember, this was being reported that Lomachenko was gonna possibly fight Pacquiao, and shout out to Loma, man. Shout out to Loma for this one. He say, I'm not disrespecting Pacquiao, but I do not want to make my name bigger because I beat an old legend. Say he's old. I don't want to become a legend in boxing because of him. Still Lomachenko, why he turned it down. So he cool on that. Say he wants his legacy built on prime challenges, not agent icons. Okay. We'll see if he actually comes back. But I respect that because I don't think nobody really wanted to see I didn't care to see no Pacquiao and Vasyl Lomachenko fight. So the fact that he rejected it, cool. That's cool with me. That's cool with me. That's cool with me. Like I said, he heard, look, he probably at this point he has to reinvent himself. Yeah. Maybe the weight class will help him. More aggressive via reason why Robert Garcia holding him back. Might be right. His body wide open for the attack. Yeah, that high guard gonna get picked apart too, Roger. Elijah, shout out to my guy behind the hands TV. He spoke to them over there on that side, Shakur's side directly, man. They said that fight signed. So yeah, I think it's just a matter of time for the announcement, as I was saying earlier. So good. I'm just glad as a boxing fan we get a fight that they was selling this was coming, right? If you somebody that follows Shakur's career, you finally get that kind of opponent where people got to at least respect it, right? Where it's a 50-50 fight type going in, you jumping up a weight class, going in a division where you never fought at, and you fighting an established champion there, right? There's nothing we can say about that bad as boxing fans. And if you Teo, that's a far step up from the Steve Claggers, Arnold Barboza's, and guys like that, right? So, it's a great dance partner for both guys. Teo has that athleticism, you know what I'm saying, and combination of experience and different things, right? Tools, he got some pretty good pop, some things to get Shakur respect, earn his attention, and make him think. And you got Shakur on the other end. He got the IQ, the smarts. I think he technically savvy, fundamentally locked in, right? It's things that he do that can give Teo fits, right? So it's some give and take on both sides where they're going to have to figure each other out. And whoever's able to figure the other guy out more is going to win. You know what I'm saying? I favor Shakur, but I ain't a guy that just say it's going to be a blowout like 11-1 and stuff like that. I don't feel like 11-1 is Teo, right? I think Teo could put up more of a scrap than that for sure. You know what I'm saying? But regardless of what, long as he get his hand raised, I'm cool. Go out there and prove just how great you is. Or Teo can prove just how great he is. And like I said, you beat Shakur Stevenson. Ain't shit nobody can say about the opponent selection. And I'm telling y'all right off the bat, I ain't making no excuse about no weight. I'm not hearing no excuse about no weight. I don't care about moving up. I don't care about being the first fight. No acclamation, no none of that, because you're a generational talent. I think you is that shit. You should be able to nullify that stuff and beat them. And I'm telling you, completely dialed in. I still don't think we've seen the best possible performance Shakur can put on, because I don't think he's been in there with the best possible opponent he could be in there with. Case in point, I don't know how people seen this is a pay-to fight, but for me, entertainment standpoint, it checked all those boxes, all that. Oh, it's boring. You walk out. That's not a fight that you would say you walk out on. It wasn't no running. It wasn't no reluctance to throw his hands. None of that. It was belt to ass, like he said. It was fun. It was entertaining. He fought in a way that wasn't in his best interest, but still made it look a certain way, right? Only got hit 27% of the time, which is amazing to me. It's crazy. So I don't know. You know what I mean? Now you get a Teofimo. You go from that to a Teofimo. Teofimo is better than Zepeda, and I expect you to be able to show something different against Teo, right? You know what I'm saying? Just continue to prove your worth. Now, I know a lot of people like, Shakur wins easy. I ain't gonna say that though, because Teo one of them trick bags, man. You gotta mentally frustrate him and beat him. He can be beat mentally. That's the thing. Teo focus on the physical side of things, like a lot of these fighters. Because you heard him in his breakdown, and Shakur talked about how good he is, but he don't like to get hit. He don't want to get knocked out in front of everybody. Shit, who the hell? None of y'all fighters want to get knocked out in front of everybody. He just good enough defensively to make sure that you can't hit him and you won't knock him out in front of everybody more times than not. So, there's not an indictment on him because he's great defensively. He just got to continue to be great defensively despite the challenge in front of him, right? As you step it up in competition, as you fight better guys and those more name, more experienced more established fighters overall, you want to continue to show how great you are. You know what I'm saying? And I think Teo allows him to prove what he's worth and vice versa. So whenever you get fights like that in boxing, it's a win for us. It's a win for all of us, man. Now, he definitely a top-tier talent, and you going to show him. World Flush Norman. Ha-ha. We're going to talk about that briefly. Stretched Out Boxing, what it do, homie? How you feeling, my guy? You know? So, man, we'll see, man. We'll see what Teo bring to the fight, man. I can't wait to see it, though. I'm all in. But the fight that people can't get away from, I hear a different breakdown or something about it every day, is B. Norman and Haney. I think that shit is very intriguing. I think that fight captured the imagination of the fans in a huge way. And regardless of what we think about it, man, Haney's in a really interesting position, bro. You could make a lot of people put respect on your name with the right kind of fight. Get what I'm saying? With the right outcome, the right kind of performance, because you know, people keep raving about his physique and how he look and his muscles, and he look like this and that. But I'm like, the muscles don't win no fights. Now, he might be healthier. He could be stronger at 47. He looked a little different. I ain't going to lie. I wouldn't be surprised if he punching a little harder. I wouldn't be surprised. But overall, I think if you're just not a puncher, you're just not a puncher. I don't think he's going to transform into a puncher. And I think with 8-ounce gloves on, anybody can hurt you. Right? Anybody could hurt you with the right shot that you don't see. But remember, we talked about this earlier. They wanted 10-ounce gloves. And that's a fact. That's not a rumor. It's not no shit I'm making up. It's not a narrative I'm pushing. That's a fact. They wanted 10-ounce gloves. But they had 47, so they fight in 8s, not 10s. I think 54. I think 54 might be 10s. I think 54 is 10 ounces. But we know 47 is them 8 ounces, so they clearly was concerned about something. They could say what the hell they want. But if you wanted 10-ounce gloves, you was worried about that power. So you might, on one end, you try to compliment the power. And then on the other end, you try to downplay it like it ain't nothing to worry about. What you a damn lie. You a damn lie. Like, I think Brian Norman power is far more for you to worry about than your boxing ability for Brian Norman. All this, Devin Haney just going to box and be this phenomenal. He's just going to be too smart. Shout out to Bam Rodriguez. Even he said it. He said Haney just going to be the smart guy that he always is and box to a victory. I mean, he going to have to. Like, and that's what I'm saying. Like, his avenues to win the fight are not, it's not a lot to travel. It's one way to me, and it's box and stay away and try to be sharp and fight damn near the perfect fight. If you switch it up, if you try to go get him, if you try to be this Debo Dev that they think you are, Debo gonna get the same thing done to him in that Friday movie, man. This shit is not gonna be like the movie. It's not.
He's not fighting fair.
That's not gonna be the case, G. He's not fighting fair. It's not gonna be like that. It's not gonna be like that. I'm just letting you know. Like, you gotta come with the right game plan, bro. You really gotta have your shit together, yo. Because if you don't, shit could mess around and look like this. You don't need it to look like that, and you definitely don't need to be like John Gotti was in his last fight. Get like this. It could get like this. It could. It could get just like this. It could get like bro. It could get like that. It really can get like that out there. I'm telling you, the ring is down there, you can get like that. Bro, drunk. Yeah, that's all bad. You don't want that. You don't want them celebrating like that. One time for
swipe through all of them.
Okay. Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
So it's 4. It was 4 of them.
Mm-hmm.
You recording? See, now this is what's wrong with the boxing game. We talking about fighting. He's over here showing me some fashion outfits, man. I don't care about what this man. Look at me, man. I got a $5 tee. You know what I'm saying? The world is yours, pants, got some forces on. That's all you need, man. I'm telling y'all, the boxing game talk, we over here talking about fashion. Talk about fashion, man. We talking about fashion. Y'all seen these outfits? Come and rate them things. Man, I ain't finna rate no outfits, man. I don't care about no outfit, brother. I'm here to throw hands, and that's it. Throw hands and make bands.
It's the one and only Yo, Brian Norman said, man, y'all asked me about some fashion, bro. Y'all asked me about fashion, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to hurt this man. I don't care what he wearing, man. You hear me? He don't care what he hearing. They really think Norman can't box. Hey, Jordan, I think that's a grave mistake, bro. It's a grave mistake, man. Sound like my cousin I grew up with. Country as hell, man. It's attention to detail. Tony, drills, bro. Drills. You gotta, that's something you gotta drill in the guy's head to be defensively responsible. But Virgil's defensively responsible to a degree. He's not completely careless, but when he going for the kill, he going for the kill. Like, but there's holes in his attacks, right? Because he put so much into his offense. He be trying to like murder with every shot. I think that works against him. You've seen it in the Boychuk fight. Boychuk was able to use his aggression and his come forward nature against him. You know what I'm saying? He made it work against him in spots. So Virgil, I think that's something that you got to continue to work on moving forward. You know what I mean? Not putting everything into every shot, changing the speed. You know what I mean? Going through the gears properly and not just going from 0 to 100. You know what I'm saying? But he's a solid guy though. Virgil is, man. He be kind of sturdy behind that high and tight, that high guard, man. He be a little sturdy behind the high guard. Be a little sturdy back there. Behind the Hands TV. Our big homie Ron Sims just started pre-camp in Vegas with some dude from Jersey. You know it, Behind the Hands TV. My dog was good with it, bro. I was just talking about you a little bit before you popped up in here, man. I was just talking about you. Big homie Ron Sims just started. Yeah, man. You know what time it is, huh? You know what time it is, man. Time to get ready. And real quick, Corey responded to Tim Bradley. Tim Bradley, remember the comments about him sparring Jake Paul and all that stuff.
Jake Paul.
You see what he said there, man. He responded to Tim Bradley's comments. That's Shakur post. He was responding to Tim Bradley about the comments about how he going against the Brotherhood and Jake Paul making more money than them guys. And, you know, he went on to say, if Jake Paul making more money than him, good. He don't count nobody pockets. Say he ain't tripping on Tim Bradley's opinion. No, but, you know, as far as that brotherhood, he's like, it ain't no brotherhood. When he was going through his trials and tribulations, ain't none of these dudes have his back. And we can't cry brotherhood when it's only convenient. You get what I'm saying? I just think it's business. I don't think it was nothing personal. I think people find ways to make things personal because they know it you know, negativity spreads. Bruce Guys, peace, OG. How you feeling? Still finna pull out last minute. Moneybag J. I hope not. Hope not, but I hear his sign. Shout out to the homie. And it's a pre-camp going on, so good. So, yeah, Corey ain't take too kindly to them Tim Bradley comments, but he ain't go crazy. Just lately he been on some chill, like, man, hey, it is what it is. That's how you feel. Well, this is what I'm on. So, now I like it, whether you love it or hate it. That you don't like it, too bad. But it is what it is. You feel me?
Brian Norman gonna get dropped. He's going to get dropped. And then y'all gonna call him trash. Every one of y'all that's calling in here talking all this, oh, Brian Norman gonna shock the world. Man, as you said, you put some money on him, you better go get your money back. You better go get your refund or you about to lose that. That's gone. He gonna wash his board. This is gonna be a classic masterclass beat down. For all of y'all talking about Devin running, Devin didn't run from Loma. He stepped to Loma, beat Loma up, had him in the locker room crying. Now Loma out here depressed eating, looking like he about 190 or something. Loma looking like he borderline 200 pounds, sad as hell. Like he eating ice cream out the carton directly and drinking milkshakes and shit. He depressed. He ain't got over the ass whooping. He had Ramirez on the ambulance. Y'all talking about he running. He hit Ramirez 70 times and put him on the ambulance. Ramirez ain't want no more of them punches.
Yo, these people, them take shout out to Ness. The boxing was them takes on them callers be funny. That's why I play them so much. But look, anybody could get dropped in a fight. You can get caught with a shot you don't see, a shot where you all balance, any of that stuff. Devin could drop people. He dropped Regis. When Regis was talking about how he ain't had no pillow fisted. I just think the difference here is you dealing with a different athlete overall, and I think that could be a contributing factor to this fight. Like y'all focusing on getting dropped. Y'all heard guaranteeing knockouts based off physiques, pictures of his body and shit like that. He got a six-packs and some veins in his arm. And y'all like, yeah, man, he about to knock Brian Norman out, bro. Y'all better hope. You better hope he don't go out there and hear that shit y'all pushing, because when y'all gonna learn? You are who you are. This man ain't gonna be closer than he is to 30 than 20. And all of a sudden, I think be a KO guy. Right? That doesn't mean he couldn't not get a knockout on the 22nd, right? Anything is possible. You know what I mean? Shit, what a broke clock is right twice a day, right? So, like, you very well could be right, but y'all been talking this knockout shit and what he gonna do and his power shit and all these muscles and his new physique. That man is genetically, like, his genetics is crazy. He whip himself into great shape. You know what I'm saying? But he said he been eating real good too. So he said he been able to eat a lot at welterweight, man. But hopefully he ain't had no fat camps, and hopefully he been focusing on strategy and game plan, executing, because he gonna need it. He is gonna need it. I'm telling you. Excuse me, y'all. He gonna need more than a jab. Not gonna win off a jab alone. He gotta put some work in, bro. He gotta put some work in. You got to put some real work in, bro. That shit is not going to be. And when none of it kept coming forward, yeah, man. And they talking about putting him in an ambulance. That was BS. Robert Garcia already exposed that. They didn't really hospitalize him. None of that. That was a regular, like, routine checkup type shit. He didn't do nothing crazy. And you could look at him. He didn't hurt him crazy. Like, you know, when you got to make narratives up, you know that's bad. And that's what I'm saying. That's where we at in boxing with this guy. He'll put out a performance and y'all find a way to mess it up by exaggerating the performance. Nobody in the world thinks he beat the hell out of Ramirez. Don't nobody take that hospital trip as if it was some indication that he got his ass beat bad during the fight. Like, come on, man. We all watched it. It wasn't that kind of fight. He didn't have that type of temperament. He didn't have the kind of temperament. Yo, I'm about to get in here and step on this dude. Yo, I'm about to get in here and squash him. He didn't have that. He said, yo, I'm about to get in here and I'm gonna make sure he don't hit me, and I'm gonna hit him and keep moving around. And that's it. I'm a boxer. I'm not letting him, not gonna let him get no left hands in. He just boxed him and got him out the way. You know what I'm saying? But he didn't fight that way. I don't know if fight Brian Norman in the way that, you want to see a knockout, he's gonna have to change the way he fight. His temperament, in my opinion. And the reason I say that, because he had Regis Prograis right there for the taking, and he didn't stop him. I'm not knocking him for that, but I just think that's naturally not who he is, right? Safety first, defense first. He's smart fighter, disciplined, stick to his game plan, pick his shots, create his openings, and then he stay out the way. You know what I'm saying? And box and be smart. That's what he is, man. And I think if he does that, he gives Brian Norman the toughest chance, the toughest night of work. But I think all that trying to fight the fighter is going to be bad, in my opinion, because Norman's really good timing and punch placement. That's my opinion on that. And having a slightly longer arms is not going to be in Devin's favor either. So it is what it is, man. The experience, yeah, maybe the resume going to come in there and throw some jabs, but I doubt it. Think it's going to be a matter of who's more prepared on the night. If Bill Haney and Devin is more prepared, they'll win. If it's Norman and Senior, then they'll win, But I feel like the avenues, the paths to victory is different, obviously. You know what I'm saying? I feel like Norman could afford more mistakes. I feel like Devin's path is to box, I think, but I think Norman could box or fight and mix it up a bit more. I think he has the opportunity to be able to mix it up more and still find a way to come out on top. Because the whole notion that he can't box, I think, is comical. And I don't think the gap between skill is significant to the point where he won't be able to keep up. My question is, what will be your most effective punch of the night? And what's your overall mentality and approach to this particular fight? You know what I mean? And getting in here with him. And being that we speaking on this, let me play the clip from my guy, Bam, man.
Norman Haney. To me, that one is like the biggest question marks.
Yeah, no, I feel like Haney's gonna win that fight. I feel like he's gonna go out there and just be a smart fighter that he always is.
Yeah, but Norman can crack, bro.
Yeah, he can. He's dangerous for sure. But I feel like Haney's just a little bit too smart.
Interesting. Yeah, like, do you think he'll fight the way he fought against Jose Ramirez?
I don't know. It's hard to tell just because I know people give him a lot of backlash for that fight. So maybe it might change his mentality going out there and just maybe fighting a more action-packed fight, but still in a smart way. I feel like he's going to get the job done either way.
Yeah. Like, that's what I've seen from people. They think either Haney's going to outbox him or that he's going to get caught with something, just given what happened in the Ryan fight, knowing that Norman's like a really big puncher.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen what people say as well, but I mean, my mind will always have Haney winning.
In terms of the undisputed path, Bam.
Shout out to Marcos Villegas. And see, Bam's on that side. He think Haney could box, be smart, outbox him and win. I mean, look, that shit is very possible, bro. But overall, it's just about strengths and weaknesses, right? And I think some of the strengths that Brian Norman has, if he's successful in them areas, that gives Devin trouble. You got to eliminate the path to success for Brian Norman, right? You got to be willing to out jab him. You know what I'm saying? And take those chances. You could possibly do it. You know what I'm saying? But it's not going to be easy. You know what I'm saying? You'll have your opportunities there too. But like I said, I'm not a fool. I hear what's being said. I hear what the focal point is. And like I said, I know somebody that know them. And I know something that you don't know, right? And so I'm always going to stand firm on what I know, not what I think I know this to be a fact. And it's like, we're going to see. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be really hard to spend 36 minutes outboxing that dude without no trouble, without no difficulty. It's going to be some resistance there. You know what I'm saying? And it's just, are you prepared for it? Are you all the way back? Because like I said, all along, a 50-50 fight is what I would love to see. Because that way we could say we've seen one of the best versions of Devin along with one of the best versions of Norman. And there you go. May the best man win. You know what I'm saying?
You just got here. Well, what took you so long? Huh? I thought you had got cold feet. I've been looking for you. Well, one thing about Oakland niggas, yeah, ain't nothing slow. We the first on the block for the cheese, and we're the last motherfuckers to leave. November 22nd.
November 2nd. They said they been out there too, man. They said that's a bit of a lie. D-Free, what it do? I just seen him pop in here. What it do, D-Free? What's good with it? Everybody not popping up in here. I don't know if I like this. If forget boxing, you're going to have to fight that ninja to win. Yes, dog. Yeah. Yeah, nah, I don't do no glazing, though. Hell no. Glazing, that's for them kids, man. I just speak realistic. The thing is, I can't speak what I don't believe is going to happen, right? I only could tell you what I believe, right? That's not, I'm pretty fair. Like anybody else, they're going to tell you Dev is up Shit's Creek and he be possibly about to get knocked out. You know, I breathe life into the youngin, but I just think he got a tough fight in front of him because of some of his deficiencies, some of the things, some of the areas where he's not good. going to be problematic, I think, over the course of a 36-minute fight. Now, I expect Devin to be able to box and do some things. He knocked Brian Norman out. You know how impressive that's going to be? Boca Chica is a real puncher. He hit Brian Norman. He got up and started fighting that guy back. A lot of people talk about the knockdown, but don't talk about the aftermath or the fact that this dude threw an elbow, had him leaking and all types of shit. Like, that dude a legit puncher. And he started acting diffy after AD got back up. So the thing is, don't go in there trying to be something that you're not. Go be the pure boxer that we know you are. The guy that Bam said you are, right? The smart guy that's going to stick to a game plan, box, and be smart. And, you know, what do you say? Handicap you of your best, have your best assets, attributes. That's what he loved to say. Because you know he got called out for being like Floyd, man. You know B. Norm called him out for being like Floyd, man. I know he was on the helmet for that, man. Hold on.
You violate, I'm going to have to demonstrate. You violate, I'm going to demonstrate. Well, stop trying to let Floyd, but you trying to steal quotes and stuff. You trying to steal quotes, brother. You violate, I'm going to demonstrate. I want y'all to play them tapes back.
You already know what I say. You violating, I demonstrate.
You trying to steal Floyd whole flow. Real quick, brother. You can't sit here and try to take everything that man did and just run it. Run your own play, brother. You know what I'm saying? Sit here and you on my so you hard. You really offend. You really offend. I'm not on no nigga. Get your own stuff, man. Get your own style. Get your own little, you know what I'm saying? You ain't got your own swag going on, brother.
Oh, man, I love it. I love it, man. Call him out. He said, that's that Floyd work, man. That ain't even you, huh?
And all that trash. Come on, we gonna be riding the car with Devin. I'll be damn.
Get him saying
damn if we gonna ride the car with him. You already know how we come. You know I wanna talk my shit, be known, and we at war, baby. Yeah. They said we stuck. We ain't coming. Be known. The storm is here, baby. The storm is here. Now we're brewing. We're brewing. We're brewing. I know how we coming, man. I know how we coming, man. Hey, what's up, Bob? How you doing, man? All right, all right. I know how we coming, man. Yeah, we coming too. We coming too.
See, you're funny as hell. Man, they out there. Them boys out there in Saudi, man. Boys out there in Saudi. This gonna be fun, man. I can't wait to see it. Debo Devin. Debo. As sparring partner told me last fight, they threw the game plan out the window. Can't do that against Norman Wright. And speaking of one of their sparring partners, a guy, Elijah Flores, that sparred both of them. Look, this is something that I was saying about Brian Norman. It's going to be one of the most athletic guys that Devin Haney has boxed, right? I was saying that. Kept saying that. And now look what Elijah
Sparring be norm though. This was a three weeks of straight sparring. He's a dog. He's the most athletic, quickest dude I think I've been in the ring with.
Wow.
Yeah. So
did you hear him? Said Brian Norman is the most athletic, the quickest guy he's been in the ring with. I'm telling you, bro, I think it's some miscalculations on Team Haney. I could be wrong as hell, bro, but they keep saying slow feet, slow this. I'm like, bro, y'all about to be in for an interesting fight. Who do y'all think he is? Like, they act like he's some type of lumberjack with the feet. Like, I'm like, nah, bro, let me play it again, bro. This is somebody that sparred both of them, by the way. This is not a knock on anybody. This is his observation.
sparring be norm though. This was a three weeks of straight sparring. He's a dog. He's the most athletic, quickest dude I think I've been in the ring with.
Wow.
Yeah. So
yeah, look, most athletic and quickest guy he been in the ring with. That you don't say that shit about people. You don't say that about people that are slow with their feet, right? If you're athletic, you're athletic, you're one of the most athletic people we've been in the ring with, that's saying something about Norman. That's all I'm saying. I just think it's some miscalculations, but I could be wrong. Maybe they're going to show me that Norman is exactly who they saying he is, but it's going to be tough, man, because Dev did say he was a bum too. And I'm like, damn, you lost. You called him a bum, and you know that ain't true. Man, you about to go out there and have to deal with it. But nah, I see, really good fight, man. Fun for the fans, bro. Those are the kind of, that's the reason why Haney got the respect from the people that really respect him, because he willing to take fights like that. Tay, what's good, Superman? What up? This fight is as dangerous as they come, bro. It don't get too much more dangerous than Norman Jr. So we're gonna have to see, man. We're gonna have to see. Moving forward, what's that? Shit. You better hope you ain't the one eating the crow. Better hope you ain't eating the crow. We gonna see though, but I don't really mind eating no crow. You know what I'm saying? I get my honey mustard, I get my honey mustard sauce with the crow. Nah, I'm good, but nah, we gonna see. That shit, man. You got a boy gonna have to fight. He gonna have to walk on water. That's all. He gonna have to walk on water. You know what I'm saying? Younger gonna have to walk on water that night because he gonna have his hands full. You gonna have his hands full. Let me play Coach Kenny. Coach Kenny had to make his pick too. Shout out to Coach Kenny.
People are also saying that he hasn't fought anybody at a Devin Haney caliber. What do you think about the stylistic matchup?
I always tell you, not just because of Devin Haney, but I like to lean toward the puncher.
Yeah.
Now, if Devin was a boxer puncher, it would be different. But in this case, he's just a boxer. My opinion. But I got to rock with Norman.
Yeah.
And everybody at some point was a nobody until they beat somebody. So you got to start somewhere. I don't look at Norman as a nobody though.
What do you
rising star?
When you do look at Norman, what do you see though?
Man, I see he can box, he can bang, he can take a punch. He got good feet. A lot of people say he got slow feet. He got good feet, man. Good feet. And I see he got a selection of punches on each hand, but a little bit more than Haney, my opinion. His selection of punches on the inside, his twitch muscles, he get him off better.
He has more game in the inside.
Yeah, and he's not a bad boxer at all. I was watching one video. Whoever did the video thought they was showing Devin Haney, but they was showing Brian Norman. And they was talking about how good Devin Haney can box. Look at this jab, look at this. But at the whole time, it was a Brian Norman clip. It was crazy, man. I got it in my phone. But
bro.
Hats off to both fighters and both dads, for getting the M's in their son's pocket. Blessing to both dads, man.
For sure.
Nothing against Haney. I always lean towards the punching.
Right.
Yeah, because the punch can always get himself out of trouble. He can get himself out the hole if he wind up falling back in the fight. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Especially during the exchanges.
Exactly. As long as he's on his feet, he can at any given time turn it around.
Yeah, I hear you. That's the separation, because you have a lot of people that say, "Oh, hey, listen, this is boxing. All punches hurt." I mean, we even said we heard.
Now Devin can he got some pop. He's not. I ain't saying he can't. Everybody can punch him, but I never seen a welterweight.
He can't change the momentum with one punch.
And I never seen a welterweight championship fight where either fighter didn't have to engage.
Mm-hmm.
Both fighters gonna have to engage at some point.
Mm-hmm.
And that's gonna make the difference. That's gonna make the difference in the fight, I think. When it's time to engage, can you?
There you go. They're gonna break down from coach, man.
You know what I mean? A lot of people, they post these videos, people training, running, sit-ups, pull-ups, breathing methods, but the videos don't show pain. Pain come with this shit when you're in an actual fight. Are you willing to take the pain? Are you durable? You know what I mean? Do you have a tolerance for pain? That's the shit that's gonna make the difference.
Yeah. So that's the difference maker. You feel like that's gonna kind of show? Like, what do you think round by round? How do you see that the fight will play out? Because a lot of people are looking at they're misleading on Norman's like skills.
I got Devin boxing like he normally do. He might try to stand in the pocket a little bit more. But I got Haney, you know, being a hunter, you know, being a stalker in the fight. You know?
Haney will be the prey.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I ain't gonna say he's the prey, but you know.
That sounds a little vicious. Yeah. It sounds like he's not capable to hang in there blow for blow with him when saying that like that. Yeah. But you feel like he's gonna be not the aggressor.
He might try to be the aggressor at times, but that's not him. You know, you can work on it in camp, but you need time to make that transition. It's not gonna happen in a couple of months. You know what I mean? He might start out trying to be the aggressor. It might work a couple rounds, but at some point he's gonna go back to the old Haney because that's his style. Now, if he had more time in the gym to work on it, it might be different. But fighters always try.
Shout out to Coach Kenny, man. Feed me more X. If my the link be in there, so I seen Dave get dropped by a 14-year-old. Never looked at him the same again. Yeah, if you get beat by a bum for calling him a bum, that's gonna look bad, man. Ain't no bums. Brian Norman and Dev, what was it? Dev Dollars went. I mean, what was it? Brian Norman Sr. and Bill Haney had a little back and forth. You know it. Debo dead right there. Debo dead loaded, y'all. Boy, Debo. That Debo. You know what I'm saying? That did that.
Then he's not fighting fair.
That boy Debo. But yeah, the only reason I bring up him calling the fighter a bum is because like he hasn't learned to stop giving those rinse, wash, and repeat answers in his press conferences, right? For me, right, you call a fighter a bum, are you going to want to get credit for the guy that you're calling a bum? Because if you beat him, you're going to want credit, right? So that's my only thing. I just wish fighters, and not just Devin, but I wish he'd learn it, and him in particular, because he one of the guys that get a lot of credit for, you know, taking challenges and not shying away from nobody, right? But for me, I just wish he would speak more life into his opponents, right? So that way, when you do go out there and you beat their ass, Dad, you can get your 100% credit because people can't say they got you quoting saying, yo, you just beat up a bum. You get what I'm saying? Now, and I get it to a degree. It's a little trash talking banter, but I think there's other things you can say besides a bum. Like, I even though it's rinse, wash, and repeat as far as like you ain't on my level, I can deal with that more so than, oh, this dude is a bum. I ain't want to say now he's really a bum. But then in the next breath, you're going to say you're the best guy at welterweight and you're the most dangerous guy, right? And you're going to want credit for that, beating the best and the most dangerous. That's all I'm saying. So when he say that, I feel like he can go another direction with it. But to each his own. He can say what he want. He got to back it up. You know what I mean? It's all good. It's the hype business. He could talk a little trash. The fight just better not end up like that.
What you say, nigga? I kill you in this beat.
Yo, they said Norman gonna have Dev like that, bro. Yo, he better not. He gonna do him like that.
What you say, nigga?
He better not do him like that. Better not let that boy grab you like that. You know what I'm saying, Dev? Better not let him grab you like that. That'd be wild, but nah, man. Good fight ahead, man. May the best man win. I rock with both of them. Shout out to my brother Mike Kirkland, man. He said Dad told Junior to come get beat down and get Pop Juice too. Shout out to Mike. Facts. Noakes getting smoked. So look, we're gonna keep rolling. We're gonna talk about a couple things before we get out of here. Sam Noakes, I like him. He's confident, man. He's very confident. He feels like he questioned Abdullah Mason getting dropped. You know what I'm saying? He's saying he don't put too much into it, but he just wondered if that was him, right? Getting hit with that shot or if he was hitting him. So he feel like he's going to stop Abdullah. I want to see it. I think Abdullah Mason going to stop him. I really do. And the new is on the way. New WBO champion, Abdullah Mason, man, from Ohio. Was it Cleveland? Yeah, Cleveland. Y'all got y'all one, man, because he might as well go ahead and they might as well go ahead and pack that belt up for Abdullah. I ain't going to lie. I ain't even about to play with it. Nah, I don't think this is about to be no tough-ass fight. Nah, I think he about to shine. I think he about to see a star making type performance, man. I think he about to show out. You know what I'm saying? I think he's gonna be well prepared for this title shot, and I think it's gonna show. I think Mason about to beat Earth. What my bro Ant be saying, Earth, Wind, and Fire out of Sam Notes. Sam Notes talking that knockout stuff. I like it. He's supposed to talk like that. He's confident. He got some boxing ability. He got some really good power. But I just don't think ultimately fast or athletic enough for Abdullah Mason. I think the speed, the power, combination of quickness and different things, reflexes, all that stuff, I think is going to be a lot for Sam Noakes. And I could see Abdullah knocking him out anywhere from 5 to 8, something like that. You know what I mean? 9 if he tough. You get me? 9 if he tough. But I could see a stoppage. I think Abdullah Mason going to put hands on Sam Noakes. And like I said, depending on how tough he is, that's going to determine how long he lasts. But I don't think it goes 12. That's my opinion. I could be wrong. We're going to see. But I like Abdullah. I like Abdullah. Real quick, man. I wanted to play some of this this joint from Roy Jones and Ward. And he spoke about Errol Spence, gave somewhat of an update. I know Shawn Porter said he seen Errol Spence somewhere, and he gave his thoughts on if he thought he was going to come back or not. SP, Shawn Porter, because, being that Errol Spence's name has been, linked with some, I don't know, some of these fights that we don't ain't going to be in, as far as like Virgil throwing his name in the mix. We ain't going to see that, but Roy said he worked with him. He had a bit of an update, man. We don't know if this dude gonna come back. I don't even think he know to be all the way 100 with you. I mean, Mason like a younger Boots in my opinion. Both talents, yeah. True, like killer. And then they both got them frames too. Mike, they 5'10", 10-ish, 5'9". Well, Boots 5'10", 5'11", but Abdullah Mason got that frame too. And he got some really long arms to go with it. So yeah, man. And I think they got that seek and destroy mentality that makes both of them really fun to watch. Big shout out to my brother Mike Kirk.
And we ain't never got to box again. Well, right. well. I already been getting these bets, but now it's time for you to get your just due.
Yeah, I think Abdullah Mason doing too much. I think he's gonna beat his ass. I think Abdullah gonna be too much for Sam Noakes. I think it's gonna be a much different experience than he's ever had. I know he spoke about sparring Shakur and how hard it was to hit him and stuff like that. And I think from an offensive standpoint, I think Abdullah Mason is going to provide a damn buffet of punches for him to eat. And I think his appetite. I think he better pack an appetite. I hope he got an appetite for smoke. Let me say that. Still an Abdullah Mason quote. Hope he got an appetite for smoke because Youngin do. Youngin got an appetite for smoke for real. So. I mean, he ready, but he better be because this shit gonna get ugly. Get ugly with him real fast. But let me play this clip from Shawn Porter speaking about Errol.
I'm getting to the point where I feel like he's not going to make a comeback. I respect all fighters, as y'all know, and if you don't know, I'm sure people know that I'm friends with Terrence, and I'm because I know people expect to see Bud on here way more than they do. Bud comes to town, and he's training here and stuff like that. And I'm like, I don't want to use my friendship with him to get him on the show and stuff like that. I'll pick my moments and I'll pick my time. So saying that to say, I saw Spence at a wedding just a couple of months ago. Shout out to Tommy, been married now for a couple of months. And Errol happened to be the best man at the wedding. We talked for a minute, but I didn't ask him any questions about boxing. He looked good. He looked like he's, carrying the weight pretty well wherever he's at. And I know in the past we've seen him, balloon up. We've seen him be a little, chubby, thick, whatever the case may be, as we all do at some points in the neck and that face area. You guys know how it go. I didn't see that when I saw him at the wedding. So I'm like, okay. And then we were hearing the rumblings of a Fundora. When I think fighters get to a point where they want this, but they haven't been performing there. And I think that might be the case with Errol Spence Jr. Certainly was the case in my opinion, with Keith Thurman and also with Danny Garcia. I feel, even though they did battle injuries, I felt another big part of that was they wanted big pay against lower opponent. They didn't want to come back and get big pay against a big opponent. It's a part of the game. And I got a feeling that that's what Errol's looking at right now. I think Errol's looking at how can I, get the money that I'm used to getting. And, for the sake of words, he's got to get his feet wet again. He's got to see how he feels in, game night. And as far as I know, he still doesn't have a coach. So it's a lot of things lingering right now with Errol. I'm not sure if he makes a comeback. This, unfortunately, is the one thing that I do know. Most fighters walk away until they have to come back. And usually it's the finance situation that brings them back. Certainly hope that doesn't end up being the case with Errol. If I had to bet on it right now, I would bet that Errol makes a comeback.
So you say bet Errol Spence makes a comeback. And look, I think all of us personally wouldn't mind seeing him make a comeback if he can make one and be healthy doing it. But that's, you just never know. They asked him about if he was coming back. He kind of said, yeah, then stopped, called himself. It was like, I don't know. So you just don't know. I know it was some talk about Charlo possibly predicted him and Virgil fighting. Remember when he said him and Virgil, the winner of them guys? He was saying that when he was calling out Boots and Crawford. Charlo did, but I don't think it's nothing to that. The zone shot that down. I don't think that fight gonna come to fruition. And we just don't know what Errol Spence gonna do on the way back. But this was a brief segment of the show between Ward and Roy Jones, as far as they spoke up briefly on Errol's situation, his possible comeback. I know Roy said it's something he was going to do some work with him or something like that.
Yeah. He's proven that. Exactly. He's proven that. Man, I saw Errol Spence at the fight on Saturday. Dallas native, Fort Worth is right there next to Dallas. And man, it made me feel good because, Errol has been to himself, rebuilding, recovering, spending time with his family, all the things that you would expect, a man like that to do. Errol has been very, very open about being a family man. His kids come to camp. He talks about his kids all the time. And it was good to see him looking good, shining, just, smiling and being around the fight game. I miss Errol Spence around the fight game. And it looked like to me that the fans missed Errol Spence. And I think he deserves that because people want to compare the UFC to boxing. And it's always a conversation about what's better, just all the different stuff. What sport is more popular? But one thing you cannot take from the fans of the UFC, that win, lose, or draw, you will be respected. We're going to honor you and we're going to show you love. We don't do that in boxing.
Nope.
You lose one time.
Yep.
You got the magic. Do that in boxing. You lose one time.
Mm-hmm. Finish.
I told you he wasn't nothing. I told you he ain't never fought nobody.
Yep.
And as soon as he fought that guy, that was going to happen. And we got to change that because Errol Spence is a guy that has always fought the best competition. He's always looked for the best challenges. He was a guy that said and coined the phrase, I don't do tune-ups. I respect it. I believe in tune-ups. Give me my gimme fight, and then I'll go fight him. That ain't Errol Spence. Errol Spence has had detached retinas, horrific car accident that almost took his life. And he comes right back and fights a number one contender, a top contender, or another champion. So for me, it was great seeing him in the element again because for athletes and fighters, when you really believe that you're going to beat a guy, like he believed he was going to beat Terrence, and it ends the way that it ends, that's going to shake you up. You gotta answer a lot of questions to yourself, not media, not fans, not even your family, to yourself. What happened? How did this happen? I didn't see this coming. And sometimes,
shout out to Big Keith. What's good with it, bro? Yeah, he be on it, man.
Roy, you got to get away to rebuild internally. You got to make the decision. Do I even like the sport? Like I said earlier, do I even want to be around these people? Is this something I still want to do? And I've seen Errol in the gym, and I saw him amongst the people Saturday, man, and it just made me feel good, bro, for him to get that love that he was supposed to get and to see Errol Spence back around the fight game.
And he deserved all the love that he got because he truly put Dallas back on the map in boxing.
Man, he did it, man. That's why I say it's easy to forget about you when you lose. Everybody loves a winner, but I think a different kind of story get told once a guy actually fall from grace or take that first loss and don't look invincible no more, don't look unbeatable. See how many people really rock with him. Shout out to Mike Kirkman. Appreciate the love holding me down in the chat. Respect to Spence. Appreciate what he gave me. Game to the end. I'm telling you, all the way to the end. Okay, you gotta rock with it, man.
And we ain't never got to box again. Well. I already been getting these bets, but now it's time for you to get your just do.
Never avoided no smoke, none of that. Always was with it.
You understand me? He put Dallas back on the map, so he deserved everything he got. My daughter cried when he lost because she was such a fan of him, and
that's crazy.
What he had done for Dallas. He
that's
put
real.
Dallas back on the map, so he deserved everything he got. My daughter
girl.
cried when he lost because she was such a fan of him, and knowing what he had done for Dallas, she was deeply.
Wow, he said his daughter cried when Spence lost.
He hurt when he lost that fight, so it's like a lot of people do really love Errol Spence because he's a downright, down to earth, very good guy. You know, and I'm supposed to go work with him some tomorrow. As a matter of fact, I'm going to Dallas tomorrow to work with him a little bit and see where he at, see where we can help him get back to, because I do want to see him get back on that horse and ride again. Those fans at that fight the weekend, they want to see him get back on that horse and ride again. So if anything we can do to help him out, I'm going to go see what I can do to help get him back on the horse. And like I said, I don't have to be his trainer. I just want to help him get going and see what he can do. If he likes it, cool, just get back up. Sometimes we all go through these things. But the main thing is, can you get up from it? You're not judged by how you go down, it's how you get up.
Talk to him,
all
boy.
of us want to see him get up. And if he just had one more fight just for the fun of it, just say, okay, I'm going to go out on my shield. I'm going to go out right. I'm cool with that too. But I am going to definitely go. I'm going to go help him out tomorrow, start working with him. I'm going to try to give him a couple of days of work, see where he at. And
y'all like the Roy and Errol connection?
He's going to go with it. I'm sure he wouldn't come to that arena if he wasn't thinking about it. So he was lit up in that arena. He loved that fan support. You could tell he was in his elements, and that made me happier than anything because he was glowing in the element. That means he still got it, and he wants to be in the element again. And Ortiz knows that too.
That's why he said his name. And that shows you the impact that Errol had throughout the game. That shows you the stamp that he's put on the game.
Hey, you notice what he said though behind the hands? He ain't even got to be his trainer. He just want to help him get back. Any way he can help him get back.
Or that star power that he's had. He's been away from the game for
other words, don't train.
Year and a half, I think it is. And a fighter who is peaking, a fighter who is on the verge of fighting the biggest fight of his career, and I'm talking about Virgil Ortiz. He's thinking about Errol Spence.
Said something he always in the building. Said something he always wanted to do. Always wanted to fight Errol.
But I'm saying he mentioned that man because of the impact that Errol has had. So, man, salute to the brother Errol Spence. Man, we pulling for you. I don't care if you ever fight again. I know you winning in life. You have a beautiful family. I know he got some land out there in Dallas, and he's just enjoying himself. Man, y'all brothers that got land, y'all ain't saying y'all happy all the time, but man, y'all move a little bit different. It's almost like I can work in the madness, but I got my safe haven. I got my spot that I can go back to.
So here's the thing, Dre. It's like even with Errol, when you first come off of a loss and you come back out, like you said, the thing we need to get is that in the UFC, they love their guys regardless. In boxing, some love, but some hate on you. You understand me? I know he wouldn't. And no matter what the reason may be, they don't look at all that. They just great and hate on you anyway. So to come out and see that you still have that kind of love makes you really happy and makes you feel proud for what you stood for and what you did. But at the same time, if you come out and you realize you don't have that love, when you get back to your land and these chickens and these dogs and these cows and these horses and these goats see you,
They gonna love
you ain't never lost to them. They still love you like you number one. You understand me? And you're gonna always be number one to them. You understand me? And so it's like having that helps you keep a balance in life and makes you look at things from the way God would see things. Hey son, you went out and did what I gave you the talent to go out and do. I'm very happy with that. You ain't supposed to win them all. You ain't God, but you did what you're supposed to do. I'm cool with that. So let's go. You all good. That's how those animals in that farm make you feel. You understand me? So that's why people with that kind of stuff seem to be able to get over it quicker, because we have a peace and a form of tranquility that we get from that farm. You understand? Those
I like
animals,
what Roy
they give you
talking
a
about.
different kind of love. You know, they give you everlasting love, forgiving love. You understand me? They don't care what happens. They just want you back.
Well, man, check this out. I got a ranch 2 hours from where I live, my primary house. So I'm finna go up to my ranch today so I can get some of that love. I want to feel some of that love today. But I love it, man. And I think it needs to be said, and we will continue to do that, because it's a lot of talking heads out here, and we're one of them, but we want to be talking about the right stuff.
Yeah.
Talk to him, Roy.
The weight conversation and all the different things. Me and you don't always agree. A lot of times we do agree, but at the end of the agreeing or disagreeing, we want people to be more knowledgeable, to walk away and say, okay, I get that now. So when you and
Hey man, I don't preach that over here. You heard what Roy just said? Tell me I don't preach this over
all
here.
the different things, me and you don't always agree. A lot of times we do agree, but at the end of the agreeing or disagreeing, we want people to be more knowledgeable, to walk away and say, okay, I get that now. So when you in the comment section, you know what you're talking about. When you at the job, you know what you're talking about. You talking to your buddy, you know what you're talking about. Because we can't have you out here sounding like you know what you're talking about, but you really don't.
We wouldn't have a successful show.
Absolutely.
Man, that was good, man. That was cool. They just spoke about EJ. I wanted y'all to hear that. You just never know if he planned on coming back. Said he was around. You know, Shawn Porter talked about it. He said if he had the bet, he would say that he's gonna come back. So you don't know. Seeing him at a fight is a good thing. Him having his weight down and in check is a good thing. But seeing him enjoy his family is cool too. So I'm like Roy and Ward, man. If he came back and did a farewell thing like Danny, cool. If not, never fought again, it'd be cool too, man. You just never know when it's your time to hang them gloves up, man, and call it a career. And I think the Errol gave us the fights, man. You know what I'm saying? I ain't that selfish. You feel me? He gave us what we wanted to see. You know what I mean? Gave us the fights. Something else I wanted to bring up real quick before we got out of here. Oh, lastly, before we departure, man, hit the like button, y'all. Sub to the channel. My bad. Cal said the double chat. Just something different. Something different for the people that like, you know, what they like, horizontal or vertical. Yeah, I got our options. Yeah, I got our options now, man. They gave you options. Hold on. Saying Billy versus McGee, co-main for Teal Shakur. It wouldn't be a bad fight. It wouldn't be a bad fight. Said Billy turned down the rematch with Lester Martinez and chose the Jaime Munguia fight. I'll tell you what, Lester Martinez was about to give him hell. That's for damn sure. Lester Martinez was going to give him hell. That I do know. He was going to give him some hell. You get me? Lester was going to give him hell in the ring again, and he knows it. Anybody listening to Rock and Roll Metal, this will be Devin after he fight Brian Norman Jr. Cut my life into pieces. Right about a ranch. The summers I go down to my Peach Farm Ranch, messing with cows and horses. That's a different type of piece. Yeah, a lot of people say that, P. Hunter. A lot of people say that. Lastly, man, Tim Bradley had a recent breakdown about Boots and Virgil, and we'll end the live with let's hear something what Tim Bradley had to say. Hit the like button, y'all. Support the grind. We wrapping up. Much love to everybody that rocked out today.
And you know, I mentioned to him that why, you know, Norman, dangerous guy. It feels like it does more for Norman's career, and Devin's at, you know, been already at the mountaintop, but you know, his attitude is he's got a title. He thinks he's the best at 147. So all the credit in the world to him taking on that challenge.
Yeah. Look. I think that at the age of both of these young men, the willingness for them to want to compete and put their O on the line, man. I mean, that speaks volumes to the type of mentalities that both of these fighters have. And I think that's the nature and which we want the sport and we want fighters to behave. You know what I mean? Like throwback fighters. You know, when I look at, I'm going off another tangent, but when I look at like Virgil Ortiz, the performance he put on, then I look at Boots and the performance he put on, like right away you're saying, or like, you know, fans are saying to themselves like, hey, why don't those guys fight? You know what I'm saying? Like, and I want them to fight. I do. I want them to fight, you know, and y'all already know who my pick is. You know, like a lot of guys are like from the show me state, like show me.
And Matt said Virgil should fight Fundora while Boots goes and tries the title fight. Yeah. These dudes is dumb. I was driving. Oh, you switched your phones. I went to the wrong club. Shout out to Cat. Much love to y'all. We still got 50 people in here, man. Much love to y'all. They I guess they split it for y'all, but they combined it for me on the screen. So shout out to everybody. Just make sure you sub, hit the like button, and support the channel.
That you can win, Boots. But me, I'm telling y'all right now, man. Anybody that wanna listen, you can listen. If you don't want to damn listen, then damn it, you're gonna learn the hard way. Mm-hmm. I'm telling y'all, Boots is going to beat Ortiz, and he's going to beat him. It's gonna be bad. I'm just letting y'all know. Some of y'all see that victory he put on, and you know Ortiz, and he looked spectacular, and he did it against a quality opponent.
He looks spectacular.
However, Boots is a different type of animal, man. You know, this guy can be on his front foot. He can be on his back foot. This guy got punching power, hand speed. He got a ton of skill, counter punching ability. I mean, Boots has all the tools in the world to give a guy like Ortiz, who is talented. Mm-hmm. Don't get me wrong. Ortiz is talented, man. He goes about his way inside that ring, and you can see how calculated and precise he is when he's inside that ring, man. That right there was a killer this past weekend. He was a killer. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And it was he terminated his his object or he had terminated his freaking odds with like 2 rounds. I don't think anybody in their mind thought it was gonna go 2 rounds. If you did, you know Shadamas or somebody, you know what I'm saying? Tell me the damn lotto numbers. But I didn't think it was gonna be 2 rounds. You know what I'm saying? I didn't think it was gonna be that long, but short period of a time. So
yeah, and nobody did. Rob Garcia, I asked him that. You know, obviously thought the guy was going to win, was going to stop him, but
Timmy
you know,
T,
7,
bro.
8, 9.
Timmy T. I didn't think it was going to
so
go that long.
Let me ask you then. You got Boots. You're picking Boots. They
all
got
day,
him
7 days a week.
All day, 7 days a week.
All day, 7 days a week. He gon'. I tell you, he might even stop Virgil.
He might stop him. Let's
go,
like, Tim.
This is the thing, man.
Like, the other chat. Oh, now you gotta. It's whichever one you go to. If you click the vertical one, you will see the vertical. If you go out, click the other one, you will see the horizontal line.
When I say he can go forward and he can go backwards, once Boots figures out,
both on the screen.
Once he figures out Virgil, and he realizes that, damn, I can come forward too.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be a wrap. I mean, I know Virgil can box a little bit. I've seen him, you know, off his back foot and try to be slick and you know, and pop shot from the outside, but that's not his strong suit, man. That's not his strong suit.
It's
not only can Boots box him off the back foot,
yeah, I'm looking at
both.
Shout out to my dog.
He'll also be able
man,
to
look, shout out to everybody that's rocking out with me, man. You know, they just added a new feature and we trying it out. We're gonna test it out for the week, see how we like it. We don't like it, we going back to what we know. You know?
Speed, enough IQ to be able to position and get himself in real good position against Virgil, man, and take advantage of, you know, some of Virgil's flaws. You know,
get boy.
Virgil, to me, this is what I see. Virgil to me is very predictable. He's right in front of you. You know what I mean? I would say he's a bit hard to hit only because he keeps a tight high guard. He moves his head off to the side, nice little pre-slips off to the side. He's constantly trying to, change with his head positioning. But that's it. That there's nothing more than that. You know what I mean? And once Boots figures that high guard coming forward, similar to the way Crawford was able to figure out Canelo Alvarez, similar that way. Similar to the way you got a guy like Shakur Stevenson was able to figure out Valdez. As soon as they figure that out, it's gonna be a wrap. Promise you, a wrap. So, hey, look, and I always say this: iron sharpens iron. We ain't seen Boots in there with a killer yet. I promise you, when he get in there with a killer, you're gonna see the complete package of Boots, man. The complete package.
I agree. I think special fighters need to be tested accordingly, and I think when you put them in there, they'll raise their level with the opponent that they're in there with. You know what I mean? Yeah, he could talk some shit, Mike. He was game. I'm telling you. Hey, Reap, shout out to my homie. I'm telling you, bro. Shit gonna be similar. Shit, it could look like that. It could.
You don't think Ortiz's power could be the X factor? Because it just seemed like he told me before the fight, or he said going into the fight, it was the best he's ever felt going into a fight, mentally, physically. He couldn't really describe it. He's an intellectual kind of guy.
He's very intellectual.
Yeah, and he said it was the best he ever felt. And I mean, we saw the power, firsthand the other night. But you think Boots can take those kind of shots, or he's just going to be able to get away from those shots?
No, Boots can't be taking those type of shots.
Yeah.
Those type of shots that Boots got get hit with all these other little jabronis. He can't do that with Ortiz. And I think he's smart enough to know that. I think his team is smart enough to know that. But see, like, one thing about certain fighters that have, one, that competitiveness, two, was raised up in the gym, having that Philly nature. He likes to fight. He likes to rumble. Not only can he box, he has a very high boxing IQ as well. But what happens to us type of fighters now, I want to say, I don't want to class myself. I'm a Hall of Famer, but I'm not going to class myself and say I had more skills than Boots Ennis. Boots got a ton of skill. You know what I mean? I was special in the area of determination. I had quick feet. I have my little attributes to go along with me. But what happens is it heightens. You know what I'm saying? Fight or flight. It heightens. So, like, you take his skill set, and he's getting there with Ortiz, who has a really high boxing IQ as well, who has a punching power and the speed. Now you're ultra focused. You know what I mean? You have ultra combination, like what's the word I'm looking for? Ultra concentration.
Tunnel vision, or
just everything. It's almost like everything slows down a bit, man, because you're so ultra focused. You know what I mean? Because you fear what's coming at you. You know what I mean? In the sense, not to where you shut down, but just to where it's like you're aware. You know what I mean? Your hands are up. Your reactions are quicker. Your response is quicker. It's just like, right, if you see your baby, right, crawling on the bed, and you see the baby get close to that edge, and you reach out there, I mean, your reaction time is so damn fast. You reach out there and you grab the baby before the baby falls off. It's like that for a fight, especially a fighter with the skill set and the mentality of a fighter like Boots Ennis. So the dude is a competitor, man. He's a competitor. I personally think that his management was probably.
Shout out to Doc. Man, I swear he wanted to say Ultra Instinct. It was effing him up, wasn't it, Doc? Shout out to Dr. Boxing Talk.
Probably holding him back. However, look, this form of Boots that I saw got up in the ring, man. I thought he looked like Ricky Ross for a minute. He had the big beard. He had the Lokes on, the old school Lokes on. And, he had the chain and stuff. And I'm like, hey, this must be a new type of Boots right here. I ain't never seen. Shoot, what type of boots is these? You know what I'm saying? Because
that was and one mixtape boots.
Clean, he was looking sure of himself.
Hey, Tim just got introduced to and one mixtape boots. I don't even think Boots know that's his name yet.
And Just like he said after his fight against Lima, I want Ortiz. That's who I want. However, I don't think Ortiz really want that right now. I don't think his people want it. You know, I don't think Oscar wants it. I don't think Robert Garcia wants it. Now, I could be wrong.
Now you just heard Eddie say all the same thing. Now Tim saying it too.
I could be wrong, but I'm just telling you right now. Why you want to get this guy knocked off? Trust me, they see what I see. Trust me, these people have been in the business a long time. They see what I see. They know it's a gamble. If Ortiz is gonna get in the ring with Boots, it's a damn gamble. And they're not willing to gamble right now, man. Ortiz is in a really good position to really make some good money fighting against guys that have been relevant in the sport before, have been off a little while, like your Spence of the world. You know, you saw Spence there. Also Charlo, Charlo too, former undisputed there. You know what I mean? So he got some dance partners. I would advise Boots Ennis, fight a top guy, man. Fight a top guy out there. Get Madrimov into the ring. You know, I really don't think the fight's gonna happen, man. I really don't. And look, me being a fan, yeah, the fanboy in me, absolutely. I want the fight to happen now, but I just know this business, man. You know, and I understand that it's a process. When Boots or when Virgil wanted Boots, it was a certain timing. You know, he wanted to get him as he moved up to 54 and not let him adjust. You know, and right now Virgil's saying, you know what? I'm gonna let you work a little bit more. Why not? You know, you need to do a little bit more at 54 before I go ahead and face you, because I know that it's risky. I think I can win. However, it's a 50-50 fight in his eyes. And he's like, I'm not willing to risk it all right just now. So, hey.
All right, look, that might be the case, but shout out to Tim. I like this breakdown on that. We'll see. The saga continues. The Boots Virgil saga continues. Narrative's falling by the wayside. They ain't holding up. I mean, fights are being made. Teo and Shakur look like it's signed. Can't wait to hear their announcement. Norman and Haney continue to be a topic of discussion. Boxing is in a good place. You hear Bud possibly coming back. I mean, Diamond's fight would be dope as hell if he gets that fight. I mean, start making planting his flag at 160. Think that should be something special, man. That dude really on the cusp of really doing something that is gonna put him in a whole different, ballpark by itself. Talk about being in a class by yourself. Bud Crawford be undisputed in another weight class, man. They could just cancel Christmas, man. We could just cancel Christmas, man. That's as great as it get. I mean, that's as great as it get. But shout out to everybody, man. Another dope build in the books. Hit that like button on the way out, man. Subscribe to the channel. Support the grind. Share the lives. Hype the lives. Hype the videos. We're going to keep grinding. Like I said, we're going to try this vertical and horizontal joint out for the week. We're going to see how we like it. And if I don't like it, we're going to switch back to what we do. But look, shout out to everybody. Enjoy the rest of this good Tuesday. And I'll see everybody tomorrow. We're going to build on this boxing again. Y'all know how we do. So with that, we up out of here, y'all. Peace to you.
Representing Brick City, Shakur!
Finding those levels, too. Look at that four-punch combination. It's a masterclass right now from Shakur Stevenson. That's what you're seeing. A masterclass. Right hand, and Shakur meeting him with straight left hand.
Oh, there's a knockdown score with the left hand.
Right now, we're going to give him his just due. Shout out to my brother Just Due.